You've seen him for years as Hollywood's bad guy on TV and in movies. Now, listen to him right here. Here's your host, the multi-talented Jasper Cole.
All right. That's right. Multi-talented, allegedly. Howdy, 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 and welcome to On the Set with Jasper Cole. And Jasper couldn't be here today, so his evil twin, Jasperina, is here. Anyway, happy summer. This is our first official show of the summer, May 4th, 1977.
Okay, 2014. Let's bring it to current times. Yeah.
We are coming to you live back in the studios at Sunset Gower Studios right here in Hollyweird, California. And let me give a shout out to my engineer producer, Mr. John W. Williams. John, thanks for coming back. I know it's been hard with Ralph and everything, but
yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good to
Other
see
than
you.
having a battle with the shaver today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get cut up?
Oh yeah, just
Is
a
that
little
the
bit.
story you're going with?
Well, it's the new shavers. You know, sometimes they cut.
Right.
Yeah,
Will there be a second date?
They sure
Or
did.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of injuries, I'm injured here. So
Yeah, I know,
for any of
right?
you that go to Trader Joe's, be very careful when you pick up the cases of water because I got cut up. So I don't know what we're going to do about that.
Ugh.
But anyway.
Maybe they can become one of our sponsors.
And
that voice you just
you've
heard
not been introduced.
is
So anyway, I would like to start off by introducing my co-host, the very beautiful entertainment dish with Dara Zane Scully,
Hello.
Yes.
all the way from Dakota.
Yes.
How was Orange County this weekend?
It's lovely. It was a little hot.
Has Donald
It's cooler
Sterling been down there? Have you seen him? No
No.
sightings of Donald Sterling?
No, I
In
think
Dakota?
I think he's in hiding.
Oh, and what's
Yes.
his bitch's name? V?
V.
For
Stiviano.
V for vagina? What is her name?
I don't know. And I'm a little scared because when she was interviewed with Barbara Walters, we'll get into that, she had a little Star of David on. I thought, please don't tell me
he's
you converted
Jewish.
to Judaism.
Well, she's Jewish by insemination, I guess, right?
There's a lot of those.
And
We call them
speak-
shiksas.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, what's the other word you call Ralph? Okay, speaking of
Oh.
the real
I
co-host,
call Ralph lovely.
Thank you.
please
Dara.
welcome my way too gay sidekick, Mr. Ralph Cole Jr.
Hello, Planet Eartha.
Hey, Ralph.
Welcome.
You doing
Hello,
a slow
Jasper.
reveal?
Yes, hello Jasper, hello Dara. And let's us not forget one of the reasons that Dara is even sitting here is because her father, Dr. Murray Zane, is sitting over
Yes.
there. Hello.
Give it up for
Dr.
Murray.
Zane. Yes.
It's always good to have a therapist in the house.
Yes.
right?
If you have any psychiatric questions,
Questions,
please call in.
please
You know,
call in.
Planet Eartha, my expression takes on a special meaning this afternoon because we have, as one of our guests coming on later in the show, Eartha Kitt's daughter, Kitt Shapiro. And as you know, I've always likened Planet Eartha because of my adoration and fondness
Adderall.
of Eartha Kitt. So that's very fun that we'll be welcoming Kitt Shapiro later on.
Who
in the
has a
show.
website,
We'll get
a
out-
Does she know
company-
that you're siblings?
yeah, she hasn't. She's going to find that out tonight, Kitt, and isn't she going to be surprised?
And what's the name of her company, Ralph?
It's called SimplyEartha.com,
and it's
a
all
whole-
design-
It's a home decor,
Home accessories.
and accessories based on her mother's wisdom, her wants, her intuitions, and her expressions, Kittisms. So it's going to be wonderful to have that on, and we can. It's SimplyEartha.com, and you can go there and
Lovely
peruse.
stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
it
looking
is.
forward to talking to her.
And also, Ralph has been known to do drag on TV and film, and a lot of times people have likened you to an Eartha Kitt.
To Eartha Kitt.
I think that you're related.
Oh yeah, we probably are.
You
Somewhat.
probably
well,
are.
Eartha's part Cherokee,
Like
which Jasper is too,
yes.
and I'm part Choctaw. So we've all been interseminated.
And we were all waiting for our reparations.
Interseminated. Is that a
Apparently,
word?
only
Yeah, no,
the
we-
ones in Palm Springs got casinos and
Well,
money.
Jasper and I start new vocabulary. We create words.
I can see that.
Mhm.
Yes.
because there's so many words, so we just thought we'd bring a new twist to
Add
things.
two together.
Yes. Well,
exactly.
speaking of, why don't we thank our sponsors, Ralph? Because without them, you wouldn't have a check.
Well, no, exactly. And Planet Earth, I did get a check this week, as you see. He's very
You know,
generous.
And
Ralph-
you're
He's
still
very-
working.
Ralph
he's-
is also a producer now. He's not just a co-hostess. He is a
So-
producer, and as such, he has been very diligent doing his research. I don't do anything. I basically show up.
You show well because you're shuttling between two homes.
Two
It's a rough
homes. I have
life.
allergies.
LA,
I'm
Palm
injured.
Springs.
The movies he's
Yeah,
having
it's
to
hard.
be
I'm going to
shuffled
New York week.
going to
Yes,
York.
I haven't
mean,
get ready
you know,
for that.
it's
So,
like so.
you know,
Do you need
it's-
some Ativan for the
It's
flight?
good to have a it's good to have a staff. But we do want to thank our sponsors, Wayman Productions, Imagine That Productions, which we're going to talk about Denise Boutet's movie.
Oh,
last night.
fierce! Exactly.
And
Where's the love?
Tyrone
Starring Denise
Artworks.
and Tyrone Artworks.
Yeah,
starring
big
Denise
shout
Boutet.
out to Denise Boutet and Lamont Rucker and Terry J. Vaughn, everyone at a new channel called Up TV and Aspire TV, owned by Magic Johnson. It's his new channel. And they had a new TV movie last night called Where's the Love? And I have a feeling it's going to be really high in the ratings. It's actually a TV pilot for a potential series.
Oh,
and
great.
It's reuniting Denise
Oh,
and
Denise
Lamont
and Lamont,
from
okay.
Meet the Browns.
And Terry.
And Terry. Terry produced it. This is Terry's 7th movie she's produced.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Terry who?
Terry J. Vaughn.
She played Renee on Meet the Browns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very fun, very sassy.
Yeah, very fun.
And, well, I don't want to do the spoiler, but Denise Boutet has a new, exciting look. So be
Yes,
sure to
she
see
does
that. Let's not
change-
even reveal what it is, but
It's
she has
in
a
the
new
movie.
look. Yeah.
Yeah. All I can say is Halle Berry, move out.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, I mean, come on. That
Halle's
woman's a hot
10
mess.
She's 10 years older
well,
than Denise.
and she
yeah.
has a lot of baggage.
Yeah, Denise
Yes.
doesn't.
Well, I
Her
think
only
Denise
baggage
No.
is me.
is Louis Vuitton. Okay.
So
A lot of baggage.
it's been quite a week, right?
It's
but
been-
before, let's also talk about who our first guest coming up at 4:30 is. Well-known comic actor, writer from Mad TV.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
But also he plays, and I think it's Flavius or Flavius. I'm not sure.
Flavius.
Flavius from both of the Hunger Games
Yes.
movies. Nelson Ascencio.
Ascencio. Excellent, Jasper.
And as some people may not know, but at our former station, we were in the former Mad TV studio offices over there. So we'll have to ask Nelson if he was at the old Sunset Bronson.
Excellent.
That's a cool first name. It's normally a last name.
Nelson.
Nelson Ascencio. And he is Cuban.
Okay.
And his publicist, Zach Gruber, is coming as well, who's also Kitt Shapiro's.
Oh, is that coming today? Oh, good.
yeah,
I'll get
Zach's
to meet
coming.
Zach.
So we have a big thank you to Zach for booking this show for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known Zach for quite a... Zach was worked for Sally Kirkland.
Oh, okay.
Worked with Henry
Mhm.
Winkler.
Oh, wow.
And writes for the Huffington Post, and now he works for Andrew Freeman PR. So,
I see.
Yeah. Anyway, so what else? What else is going on? Because a lot of stuff happened this week,
A lot
right?
of stuff.
But everybody's talking about Donald
Clippers.
Sterling and the Clippers.
In the Clippers.
So,
Yeah.
so we're not.
Okay, so yeah. So we're not. I love that. That was good timing.
I mean, what else can we add to that?
What else could we? Nothing really. I mean, I think private conversations should stay private. I think that clearly he's a racist, but I also feel like she baited him in the way that she talked with him on that conversation. So the whole thing is really just disgusting all around.
What is the old adage? The fish stinks from the head down. So
Yes.
this is a man that the NBA has known about for
Yes.
many, many years.
Yes.
The players knew about his racist past. The former commissioner, Nick Stern,
David Stern.
he knew about it. You know, he settled one of the largest discrimination suits on housing over recently, or 4 or 5 years ago. So my thing is these other owners are going to have to be very careful, because here's what's going to happen.
Everybody who's well known has to be very careful in what they say and what they do, and
But
that's
here,
really the bottom
you know,
line.
this man has a reputation. He's an attorney who
Yes.
there's nobody more corrupt than attorneys. And
Well,
you know, there are
not
two
all of
good
them.
ones. Catherine Lombardo and Peter, you know, I think you're great. The rest of you are scum fucking bags. And that's the truth. And if you want your kid to be an attorney, fuck you.
Oh, I did.
Anyway,
Well,
You just went so Snoop Dogg on us, but
Wow.
okay. Yeah,
I
it's nice.
hate attorneys. I've been 5 fucking years with attorneys. But anyway,
okay,
Did you say-
it's
did-
therapy? It's
Yeah,
therapy,
it's
for
church.
Jasper.
Did you see what Snoop Dogg's response was to Donald Sterling?
Yes.
Oh
What did he
God,
say?
it's 15 seconds. It's so brilliant. Basically, it's just like,
Redneck.
to the stupid ass motherfucker of the owner of the Clippers. Fuck you, you dirty,
badizzle,
stupid,
badizzle.
reject, motherfucking racist motherfucker.
Wow.
ouch.
Yeah, and it was like,
I-
and Snoop
So
working
from
out.
one ghetto remark to
well,
another.
what was Donald's birth name? Towlitz?
Towlitz.
And then he renamed himself Sterling.
Sterling?
But here's my point was, he's been known to litigate and to sue people. So
Right.
the thought is that he can now countersue the league and hold this up till the day he dies.
Of
but
course.
but in countersuing, he can depose all the other owners and players and anyone involved with NBA, and they can ask things like, So, Ralph, is it true that in 1985 in the locker room you made a sexist remark about women? Or is it true that you're homophobic? So all these potential owners who are throwing stones at this guy are opening themselves up for all kinds of microscopic interrogations.
Right.
Wow.
So I have a feeling they're going to back down. I have a feeling he'll end up keeping the team. That's
Okay.
my take on
Interesting.
Now,
But
it's interesting.
Unless Oprah gets it. She's thrown her hat in the ring.
She has.
Yeah. But-
She has. Did you know that?
No, I hadn't heard
With
that.
David Geffen and Ellison, the tech
Oracle
guy. Oracle.
Larry Ellison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oprah, who's black, David Geffen, who's gay, and Ellison, who's nerdy. So it'd be quite a combination.
And Ellison's daughter is the big producer who produced big movies. I can't think of her first name now, but Zero Dark 30. And when she turned 21, she got $1 billion. And so what
Okay.
she did is invest in films. And she's done really well. I think American Hustle, and
Oh wow.
that's his daughter. We have a good friend, Susie.
Is her last name Ellison?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
We
and
need
she's
to
a
Google
lesbian.
that.
She's also a lesbian.
Okay.
Open. Yeah, she's just covered all the bases.
She has.
Wow.
Yeah. If she
She
were a
has.
black woman, she would have all the minorities covered. Or she'd be handicapped.
Isn't it
a black
amazing
handicapped lesbian.
how we still label people by lesbian
How
and
Jasper
gay?
does.
I
Yeah,
label
how
everybody.
Is her name
What's wrong with the label?
Megan?
Megan Ellison? Yeah,
Look it out,
that's
John.
big movies.
I
all
love
right?
John
Spelling
Williams,
it
JW.
ELLISON?
Yeah, she's produced big
He's
movies,
a fierce
right?
engineer.
He's like our own Google.
What are some of her-
John Google.
I know.
What are some of her
Ask
films,
JW.
JW?
Let's look.
I think it's Zero Dark 30.
Let's look. Now he's on the hot seat.
I thought you had it already pulled up.
He already went back to his
Zero
porn
Dark
page.
30 was such a good movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
that's
see.
so funny. And people are just texting already.
So was American Hustle.
Why, what did
That was
somebody-
one of my favorite movies.
Oh.
American Zero Dark 30 was good too.
Excellent.
At
Juicy.
Dynasty 54 wants to say, Ralph, they want to see what what are you wearing?
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you,
I love it.
Okay.
You're getting a tweet.
Well, you know, I'm actually.
You better put your merce up
Yeah, I'm actually wearing
or your fanny pack.
Cambodian fisherman pants.
Oh.
That are very fierce.
Let me zoom
can
in.
everyone, Can everyone
Yes.
see
Right.
Okay.
Are those unisexual
that?
or?
They are unisexual. They're
Right.
Cambodian fisherman pants. They
We
come
can't
in-
hear you.
Are you part
Oh.
Are you part Cambodian?
I am part Cambodian, and so. And
Were
I'm
you in the
also-
killing fields?
I'm also wearing Japanese getters.
Those are real Killing Fields
Okay.
shoes that he's wearing right
Wow.
now.
You know, I am all over the map.
I
so to
think
speak.
that Ralph might need
you.
some sort of fashion
Help.
thing.
Segment?
No, not help, Jasper.
No, I mean-
Segment something. Something.
No, it's okay, Dara.
Because
Let him
he's
say
No,
just-
Ralph,
he's
I
just his
thought
own-
that's what she was implying. I was
I
coming to your
wasn't-
rescue.
You know what? Ralph knows that you're full of it.
See how my
Exactly.
eyes are
you
watering?
you
I know.
criticize
I have
him and I
allergies.
don't.
I have
Yeah.
allergies.
Uh-huh.
Really
So-
bad.
no, it's
Right.
totally fine.
So back to Donald Sterling. Can we
Okay,
stay on
so
topic?
back to Ellison,
Oh, right.
right? Okay,
Yes.
Ellison. All right, her real name is Margaret Elizabeth Ellison. She's known for her work on American Hustle, as you pointed out, but also Her
Her, yes.
and True Grit.
True Grit.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she's done really well. She's in her like mid-20s. She's really young. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
Don't injure yourself.
I lost
again.
my leg. My
So-
wooden leg fell off.
so
Aviva.
Dara-
that's instant
Aviva.
karma. Yes.
So,
Real
Dara, the
Housewives.
thing about
Yes.
who's calling me?
As long as I don't hear mom, I'm okay.
Like it's alive and calling. You're like, yes, is somebody talking to me?
Dara.
When you
Yes.
were
Yes.
when you were saying
Dara.
about
Yes.
a private conversation should
Yes,
remain
it should
private.
remain private.
Now,
Snack
for
time.
example, if you and I are having a private phone conversation,
Yes.
and we've said, okay, wow. No, this can probably be edited out in post,
He's
right?
such an ass.
Okay, no, that's fine. No, can we
She
just
knows. I'm gonna make Jasper eat carbs, and he's gonna commit
Go
suicide
ahead.
on the spot.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Because he'd rather have cancer than be fat, and that's what he has said before.
That's right. Amen. But
So put that out in the universe.
Oh my God,
Apparently.
that is just horrible.
nothing against fat cancer patients.
Oh no!
But at least you'll be thin soon. Go
Oh,
ahead.
Okay,
God.
listen. No, it's clear. No, it's clear to everyone that Dara and I do not share or hold the same opinions that Jasper does. Please know that and acknowledge that. Okay.
That's not what
Thank
you talk to me
That's
privately
a
about.
decision.
No, but
we should be worried about our private
I do-
calls.
Oh my God.
I do think private conversations should stay
Say private. No, but
Yes.
this is my question.
Yes.
If you and I were having a private
Yes.
phone conversation and we said some dicey or racist things
Which
within the
we-
conversation, and that that conversation got publicly aired, is it fair that he be forced to sell the team? because it got aired. I mean, it seems like it's such
This
a
is the-
fine line.
This is the thing. He is well known because he owns a basketball team in this city, and this city is the melting pot of all cities across America. So he's stupid in the fact that he discussed those things with anybody. He should keep them to himself if that's how he feels about it.
Well,
So it's kind of I don't know. I think the whole thing is toxic. I think she's toxic. I can't believe they spent time interviewing her, Barbara Walters, who needs to retire already. But I think that it's unfortunate that his private conversations, I mean, where do you draw the line of, privacy and
But
your
here's the
rights?
big problem. He was getting an award from the NAACP.
Who, that's a crock of
Yeah,
that
but the fact
whole
that
organization,
and also he employs not 85% African Americans. So I would say to your point, Ralph, in general, if you were a public figure who was giving money to an African American organization, getting a lifetime achievement award 2 weeks later, yeah, those statements need to be.
when you're a public figure, I think you have to be careful what you do at all times, anywhere, with whoever it is.
And
Period.
I'm happy the skanky whores who brought it. I don't care who brought it out in the open. Because if not, he would have continued on to be the racist that he is, and people NAACP would keep getting money and giving him awards, and it's just unfortunate that she represents there's 20,000 of these whores in LA that have had bad plastic surgery and look like strippers and have some old man taking care of them. And it happens in the gay community. You have a lot of twinkie guys that older gay guys are taking care of. So
I think when you're I think when you're a public figure, you have to be really careful what you say and do, because everything is, people have their iPhones, they have it all the time.
But here's the problem. He was
But I do
allowing her
think-
to tape him.
Yes,
though.
he was. I do think she baited him, though. I do think the way that she had those conversations, and it was said that the wife was suing the girlfriend for the
embezzlement.
1.8 million gifts that Donald had given her, and she told the girlfriend told Donald, "Your wife needs to back off, or it's not going to end well." And he did not have his wife back down.
Well, he said
Or
I
maybe
should
he
have just
couldn't.
paid her off.
Or maybe he couldn't. Exactly.
Because there's apparently 12 other women ready to step forward that he's been giving money to the last 30 years.
Oh, okay.
So she's not the first whore.
Well, yeah, right. We knew,
Right.
yeah. But I just think the whole thing is crazy, and of course I have to watch it. The fact that she goes on 20/20 and she acts like she, thinks he's fine and everything. It's the whole thing is bizarre, but I can't help but watch.
Well, we're leaving here and going to 4th Street to look at her duplex, right? Because they just put her address
They
and
put
everything.
her
We're
address
in
and
Santa
everything.
Monica?
No, it's right near the Beverly Center, near 4th and
Over that 4th Street. Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
85.
Why did they
36.
publicize her address?
Well, they
I
went
don't
right
know.
up to the door with a camera.
Wow.
And then I did hear that Harvey Levin from TMZ loves the Lakers, hates the Clippers, and so this is all his doing to try and throw shade. That's
Now,
the new
here
word
I
on
do
the
have
Clippers.
Oh, really?
On George Stephanopoulos today, they brought this up. I do have a problem with TMZ. Here's where TMZ is now crossing over. They could probably be charged with something because they're not saying how they obtained this
Right.
tape. She's claiming she didn't give it to them.
Right.
This is where Harvey, even as an attorney, is sleazy and slimy. He crosses over, and now he's not made any comments about the tape.
Are you sure?
Or how they
He does a show.
Yeah, but he hasn't said anything how they got it.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people are saying, can the government do something about organizations like TMZ?
I would think that would be a good thing, because I think private conversations should stay private. Do you think that?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Because then, if not, like you were saying,
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, and you're saying when you're a public figure like that, you have to be careful whatever you say you're doing. It's like, well, when is ever the safe time?
Exactly.
When is ever the time when I can let go?
Well, I don't think it's ever safe with a mistress that's 50 years younger than you.
Okay.
But don't you think also
that's just
when he
stupidity.
took down Magic Johnson, that was the big one. I mean, it's one thing to be a racist, but if he had, I think
that
the big
was really bizarre, because it's like, here's Magic Johnson, who is obviously a man who has done a lot of good things for his community, and you want to take him down. I mean, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Well,
And
I
how
mean,
was he trying to take him down by singling him
Because
out that he was
the whole-
photographed as a Negro with her, and don't be photographed
I
with a
don't know.
black man?
Well,
Yeah.
Bill Maher asked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his show. He said, "Don't you think there's even another layer that there's that whole adage about white guys don't want black guys taking their women and being seen with their women?" And I was like, "Wow."
Oh, there's
Espe-
just,
and
yeah,
then you know,
there's a lot of layers,
Yes,
and it's
I was
all
about
very
to say,
septic. It's
when I-
all very septic.
When I think of all those layers, I think of 4-layer chocolate cake at Pan's. God damn it!
Right.
That shit was fierce.
and they have fried chicken
And
also.
Yes,
that-
okay.
And that is what we should be
That's
talking
really
about.
bra-
And
Wait,
Ralph,
yes.
they have collard greens, they have watermelon, they have
No, I
barbecue.
bought, no.
No, we both love it.
No,
we
don't
eat
let
there.
It, don't even let it
Ralph,
affect you, Dara. No,
we
And is
eat-
there
I bought-
bagels and lox and cream cheese?
I bought my
I
mother
don't think
watermelon
so.
yesterday. I sliced up some watermelon for her too, and I served it to the black woman. And I don't care. It's not racist. We like it. It
I
tastes
love
good.
it. I'm
you know.
not even black, and I like it.
You see how our whole society.
Why did you start talking like an old black man when you did that, Ralph?
Because I'm trying
You
to
brought up Pans, bitch. Own it.
Listen, no,
don't,
I do
don't
own it.
Don't step back.
No, I ain't stepping back. No, I'm telling you now. I couldn't get out the house. I was late. Shit, it's hot.
God, you better get that cotton pick before you
Oh,
get here.
God. That,
Well, speaking
no.
of diversity in the NBA, let's take a little poll. What do
Okay.
you think is the percentage of African American players in the NBA?
In the entire NBA,
Yes.
70%.
68%.
78%.
That's good. 76.3.
I know my brothers.
Yeah.
What do you think the African American ownership of teams is, though? That is.
Oh,
What,
that's
2%?
only one person, isn't
One
it?
person?
Michael Jordan, the only one.
2.
Who's
Ab-
the other one?
2%.
What's the average penis size?
I don't get that. But the head coaches, 53% are white and 43% are African American.
Wow.
And as of the players on the team, 19% are white, 4% Latino.
It
Well,
brings
white
up
guys
the-
can't
White
play
men can't
basketball.
jump.
Why they can't jump. But
can't.
Jasper, let's bring up an interesting thing. What if, for example, like we're doing our sitcom, or you're doing one of your independent films, or one of your features, and one of your producers, like say Bryan Singer kind of guy, comes out and says something totally
Brian
awful
Singer, the guy that's being
about
accused of
yeah.
child
We haven't even
molestation.
talked
That's
about
a whole
that
nother
either.
topic.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Wow, which I
But-
believe everything that guy is coming
Right.
forward and saying.
But oh wow, okay, we can talk about that. We can
Absolutely.
segue. But say we were working for a major producer and we're working on the film or the sitcom, and they come out publicly denouncing something horrible like a Donald Sterling. Wouldn't we still show up to work for
Yes,
the table?
Jasper would work for Woody Allen.
Okay.
If it's a good part.
Okay. Or if real
Yes.
estate is
It
involved.
depends
okay,
on
no,
how
good
much
point.
money I have in the
Jasper
bank.
has no judgment about any of that as long as it's a job and it's a paycheck and it's notoriety.
Well, apparently that's what all the players felt because
Well,
they all knew about him for years.
No, no,
Right.
no. They were gonna. Well, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I love
But
Jasper
when this
for that.
whole thing-
Jasper always works.
When this whole thing happened, they were gonna do a walkout. All
they-
the players were gonna do a strike and they weren't gonna play.
Yeah, but why didn't
That's
they
why
walk
Adam
out?
Silver, the new NBA commissioner, who by the way is a total rock star now, total nerdy guy, comes out with
Okay,
the big
but
ears,
let me
bald.
say something though.
He
Okay,
comes out there and he just lays everybody
But let
out.
me say
And
something.
people on
Jasper,
Twitter were
let her
like,
talk,
"Is he
please.
single? Is he single? He's like
Single?
the new." Yes.
okay.
Yes.
First of all, what is brave about doing the right thing?
Because it's hard to do the right thing when you have a lot of people around you not doing the right
What
thing.
anything?
You remember when you were young
What
and if
would
the
this
peer
guy?
group-
How could this guy have done anything different?
He could have done a lot different.
What would he have done differently?
He could have just postponed it. He could have said, "We're going to still investigate." He could have done a lot of things differently.
Huh? See, I don't see
But they
bravery.
were going to well, unfortunately, it's considered bravery now because
It's sad that
I
doing
know.
the right thing is
I
considered
agree.
brave, considering
I agree.
the commissioner before him is a fucking asshole.
Well, I don't know about that. Kevin seems to think he was a good commissioner, and he paid more attention than I did.
Don't get me started on all the professional sports have their skeletons in the closet.
Well,
yeah,
anybody has skeletons in the closet.
I don't. I'm wide open. Right here. Whatever you want to ask.
Wide open and ready for a
ready
part.
to go.
I don't care if it's Woody
My
Allen
goodness.
or Brian Singer.
There are no skeletons in my closet.
It's like
That's right.
he actually gets drunk on coffee.
totally.
He's drinking
Totally.
coffee.
He's
He actually gets
like
more
the
loopy.
ADHD
Look at him.
kid
He's
taking
flying.
Adderall. Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
on a drug. And it's got, look at
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
the cat is out of the bag. It's really
What else you got, Dara?
Okay.
Bring
What
it.
else have I got?
Wait, are we going to entertainment dish?
We're going to go to
I
entertainment.
thought we
We,
were
we
there.
Oh, we
were.
are? Okay.
We've
Oh.
been there.
Well,
no,
we're
Dara's
kind of
just-
there. Hang on. Now we will be
Oh,
there.
okay.
so cute.
Nice.
Dara has an AA in journalism, don't you? Don't you have a BA?
I have a bachelor's degree in communications advertising.
This is perfect for you. And Ralph, you
This
have a BA
I do have a BA,
in what?
sociology.
Right.
Yes.
And I have an AA in numerology.
By the way, this morning on Sunday, CBS this morning,
she's gonna get all
there was an art teacher from the Claremont McKenna College on there talking about how back in the day Hitler decided that certain Jewish and non-Jewish artists art was degenerative, and this guy was talking about it. And I thought of you.
Oh, great. Thank
I
you,
thought
Dara,
around
for
the
that.
map.
I love
California
it.
colleges.
Thank you.
Okay, what do I have? All right, so you obviously know about Peaches Geldof, Bob Geldof's daughter.
She died.
That she died, and it was a big mystery. 25 years old. What's wrong? Well, it turned out it was heroin.
Oh.
Yes.
She
yes,
was
just
thin.
like
At
her
least
mother,
she was very
Paula
thin.
Yates.
She was thin.
She died pretty and thin,
Thin.
if that's what you're concerned
Makes
about.
a difference.
Jasper.
It
Yeah.
makes a
That's right.
difference.
Why? What's
No,
the
because
difference?
think of all the photos that are being put out worldwide. What if she were not? What if she looked really bad? She'd feel horrible.
Poor Mama Cass.
Poor Mama Cass.
Oh, Mama
Poor
Cass.
Christina
She had a lot of
Onassis.
talent.
Christina Onassis.
Oh. Yes, I forgot about all
She's
that.
as big as a yacht.
Oh.
God bless her.
Jasper is just.
I mean that in a
He wants
loving,
to get sued.
In
in
a
a
loving
loving
way.
He,
Cindy,
he wants
I'm
to,
very lawyered up.
he wants
Feel
to
free
get
to
hurt.
sue.
He wants to be sued. He wants to be. Yeah, I mean.
Oh my goodness.
Freedom
so
of
anyway,
speech, bitches.
but it's fine to have a reason what happened, because everybody was wondering how a 25-year-old girl dies. Some people thought it was anorexia, which I guess you would think would be okay as long as she looked good. But it was heroin.
Well, heroin's very popular now.
It is very popular.
But had she
But
been
was
an
it a
addict for
heroin
years?
overdose?
Well, I think there was
Cumulative?
heroin that can. Yes, exactly.
Oh.
Cumulative.
Does anyone remember her dad, Bob Geldorf?
I do.
We Are the
Geldof.
World was his big
Yes,
thing, right?
Yes.
We
yes.
are the world. Sing
Yes.
it, Ralph.
We are.
Do the Michael Jackson part. We can take a road.
That was a great. Remember those songs that came? They were really wonderful.
We just
that
aged
was a
all
great
over the
time.
world. We aged
We totally
ourselves.
aged ourselves.
Remember they tried to redo it a few years ago or 10 years ago? They did it.
Did it not work?
It didn't work. Oh, what are those things?
Those are. It has sugar though, Jasper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna stare
Actually,
at
since
it.
your arm is right there, would you just pass the container of the chocolate chip
Oh,
cookies?
look at these
Oh.
are like
That's
these
Murray's
are fruit
favorite
slices.
thing.
These are healthy actually.
Those are Murray's favorite.
Thank you, John.
These are fruit slices.
They were on sale for Passover because you know us Jews, we like a deal.
We haven't even
I
been
like
here
a
since
deal, too.
Passover, have
I like
we?
a
Do we
deal.
miss all that? When was that?
I don't know if we've seen each other since
No, the
Passover.
last time was on
what
my
number
birthday.
cookie is that?
3, I think. No, the last time we were here was my
Tapeworm.
birthday, which was April 6th, and then Easter was the week after that. So
Okay.
we haven't
Okay,
dealt
well,
with
let
all of
Dara
that.
continue.
Okay, so then you remember Edie Brickell?
Yes.
I saw her in London play when
She's
I lived
Paul
there.
Simon's
Paul
wife.
Simon's
They
wife
went
for 20
batshit
years.
crazy. Maybe Kitt Shapiro knows them. I think they live in the same neighborhood.
She might, yes.
Yeah.
And they got into a little scuffle.
He's
But
30
then
years
I
older
think
than
she's
her.
coming out with they're coming out with a new song, so maybe it was all staged. You never know anymore with these people.
Well, they both said they had just been working, and he's like
they
4'3".
were overworked. Yes.
She kicked
yes.
his ass, didn't she?
Hopefully. So they had a little
They have a
scuffle.
son together. Yeah.
Just one son?
They have at least one because he's
Okay.
mutual friends with an attorney in New York.
Oh,
son.
here we go.
Okay.
God, Jasper's really. And then you know Nate Burkus.
funny.
He
Yeah.
got married this weekend at the New York City Library.
His boyfriend's about 25.
His boyfriend's 20, husband is 29,
for
and
him.
he's 42, and they're both gorgeous.
After what he went through washing out in that tsunami with the ex, the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, God
Yes,
bless him.
exactly.
Just to survive that.
Exactly.
How long do you give this one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
God
I'm
bless
not
you.
sure. 5 years? Maybe.
I don't know.
Right.
In gay years, that's a long time.
In gay
Very
years. In Hollywood years, yeah, they're
Very cute.
handsome.
Yeah.
Handsome couple.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I'll come over.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kerry Washington had a baby girl named Isabel.
Carrie, who films right here on this lot.
And she
Scandal.
really keeps her private life private, which I respect.
Yeah,
you don't know
good
much
for
about
her.
her and her husband.
Mazel.
Mazel to her. So they'll show her in skinny jeans next week and all us
Did she
regular.
actually have the baby, or?
She did have the
Oh,
baby.
she was. Okay.
She had a baby bump.
Okay.
For her.
Yeah. And the Real Housewives of Orange County. They have 2 new girls. Shannon has been on, and she's interesting.
She's annoying.
And then they're going to have Lizzie on Monday, and she looks darling. I tweet with her.
What's
She
her
was
story?
at the Kentucky Derby this weekend.
What's her story?
I don't really know. she's a housewife with 2 boys, and her and her husband. I don't know if she has a career.
I hope she
has a bathing suit line for sexy bathing
Oh,
suits.
okay.
She sent me a few.
Oh, good
size
for her.
0. I said just size 0. You know, I'm really tiny, so send me size 0.
Oh, okay. Well, the girl on Shaws of Sunset, she has a bathing suit line. That's not original. Lily has one.
Oh, she is just. They showed her the other day getting a $500,000 car from her new fiance, and I just thought this is just tacky.
She is an attorney.
Lily is an
Lily
attorney.
is an attorney. She has a law
Wow.
degree. That shows you anybody can be an attorney.
Do you know what? Why? I guess anybody wants to be on TV, no matter what.
Everybody.
Yeah, except for me.
Well, we tried to get Dara to audition for The Real Housewives of Orange County, and look, those
But I
two
like my marriage.
those two
Thank
sluts
you.
got on there, Shannon and
I like my marriage, and I like my privacy, and I don't want cameras in my house, and I don't live extravagantly like that.
and if you were on, we just like to talk about these people. Then people would be talking about you.
Yeah, and I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't want that kind of.
No.
But
Well-
you should get on.
And do what?
I don't know. Be a friend of one of them.
Be friends with Andy Cohen?
Yes, Andy
Yes,
Cohen.
right.
He was on the plane the other night, and he tweeted, "I'm bored. People ask me questions." So I asked him, "Do you have a boyfriend?"
think
I
he
could have
does.
asked a better one.
I
He
think
said
he does have
he
one.
said no.
He has a cute dog, though.
He does. Waka, who
Waka?
has his own Twitter.
Before we go, did you end up seeing the Cameron Diaz movie?
Not yet.
The other woman?
Not yet. But I might have my boys and I go on Mother's Day.
Oh, that'd be
Because
a good one.
It's my day.
Okay,
Right?
yeah,
Right.
a week from
Right.
today, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
yes.
happy pre-Mother's Day.
Thank you.
And Ralph, tell Rose happy Mother's
I
Day.
will, Jasper.
I'll
Thank
call
you
her
for
up
that.
and
Okay.
give her a shout out.
And let's give a shout out to
To my mom, Martha. Yes.
Martha
It was a year
Malcolm.
ago. Well, tomorrow is a year ago, but we were on air when she passed
When
away a
Mommy
year ago.
passed
Can
away,
you believe a
right.
year has gone
I
by?
know.
And the whole studio was set up differently. Remember?
Yes.
We
Right.
faced that way.
And you were getting the phone calls, and you
Yes.
wondered, and
God bless you, Martha.
Yes.
We miss
That's
you.
nice.
Yes.
Yes, Martha.
Well, I think we've gotten word that Nelson, our first guest,
is
has
Nelson here?
arrived.
Oh,
so
oh, nice.
we're
I'll go
gonna
greet him.
well, don't scare him, Ralph.
Okay.
he won't.
No, okay. JW can let them know Ralph's going to come out because
Ralph is going to be.
Ralph has come out already.
Oh,
he's
come
gonna
out.
go great.
He was out of the vagina.
It was. That sounds like.
He's
a,
like, I don't ever want to see one of those again.
It sounds like
Thank
an
you.
empire.
He sang a show tune on the way out, I think, didn't he?
Hey.
Well,
What was that? Oh, can you sing your birthday thing again for Murray?
Oh, for Murray.
From Murray.
What is it?
You take enough.
First you take 70, you cut it in half. Then you add 20 and
Cut it down.
stir it up.
If I had a whip, I'd whip you.
You forgot. Wow.
I had made
See,
it up on the spot then.
Ralph,
So now-
the short-term memory is not what it used to be.
We'll
is
have-
it?
that is so funny.
We'll have Murray go on YouTube. We are on YouTube, listeners.
Right.
Yes, everyone, remember we're
Yes.
on Stitcher, iTunes, our YouTube channel. We're on Blog Talk Radio. We're just at cable.
We're
at
everywhere.
Anywhere.
Actors Entertainment.
Actors Radio.
Actors Radio.
.com. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's a wow.
that?
That's
that
a
was
whip
a
Oh, is that a
sound.
whip sound? I
Yeah.
love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
John,
So-
you are just so amused with yourself.
John is just
on it.
Before we take a first break, so we're
Yes.
going to have Nelson coming on, then we're going to have Kitt Shapiro at the top of the hour, and then
Yes.
Cassidy McMillan
Yes.
is calling in. She was supposed to be here, but she had some car trouble. Oh, poor thing.
I'm really
And
disappointed that we couldn't meet her in
I think she was
person.
hinting that maybe I send a car for her, but I didn't. I should have maybe. Maybe
I
I
could have
should
given her a ride. I'm an
But she's calling in. She's a young documentary filmmaker. She has a new film.
an
called-
anti-bullying film.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we're going to talk to her.
Yes.
And we're going to talk more hot topics.
Yes.
And it's going to be fun.
And
so
you're going to eat carbs. Bye-bye.
No, I'm going to suck down a little more caffeine because I'm feeling, as you can tell, my energy's a little low today. You've been listening to On the Set with Jasper Cole, and don't hold that against us. We'll be right back.
Come back, Planet Eartha.
You're back on the set with Hollywood's bad guy, Jasper Cole. Here's Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, 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 and welcome back to On the Set with Jasper Cole. Here we come in our second half already. What happened to the first half? Wow, we just acted like idiots that first half, didn't we?
We
really
did.
went to town.
But we have two cuties here, so we have to, shape up.
Right. Well, we're so excited because our first distinguished guest has arrived, and we're so happy to have comic, writer, actor, producer, everything.
Cutie.
Nelson Ascencio.
Ascencio.
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome.
Ralph,
Thank
you
you.
need to say his name.
Yeah, Ralph, you do it much better.
Nelson Ascencio.
Yes, perfect.
Wow, see?
I've had so many people mispronounce it.
He's our go-to Spanish speaker.
I love the language, so I always practice and use my accent whenever I can.
And you said it perfectly.
Gracias.
Gracias. No, that's
¿De dónde eres?
How many S's are in that?
Cuba.
Oh, okay.
Cuba.
Cuba, yes.
Cuba.
Cuba Libre.
You are from Cuba.
I am. I was born in Cuba.
I'm very jealous. It's one place I really wanted to go. My dad was in the Navy in Cuba, so even as a kid, he always talked about being in Key West and then all the great times they would have in Cuba. And it's like,
It was a great time for Cuba back then. I don't
Right,
know
things
about
changed. Not now.
Things changed.
Not now.
I mean, it's still a beautiful city. I mean, Havana, and it's an amazing country, but it's quite different than
Things
the
have
50s.
changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Lupe was from Cuba.
Who?
From Dementia.
Oh,
that I
the
did.
play. Yeah.
Lupe. And
Yesio Puig.
And Desi
Woo!
Arnaz.
I know someone was asking me, who do you... I was describing like famous Cubans, Desi Arnaz, Gloria Estefan, and me.
Okay, yeah.
That's the entire Latin
Right,
explosion.
I was going to say.
They keep talking about a Latin explosion.
Okay.
It's like
You
three
know,
of
they
us.
get a lot of baseball players from Cuba.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
We
do-
love the baseball. Yeah.
Yes.
when did you come to America?
Oh, I don't want to date myself.
No,
but,
we know you're very young.
very, very.
Allegedly, you
Yeah.
arrived, but no.
No, in the 70s.
Okay.
Early 70s.
To
New York.
wow.
Born and raised in New. I mean, not born and raised, but raised in New York, not Miami, which is why I speak English.
Right.
So if I was in Miami, I'd be talking like
Yeah,
this
totally,
the whole
yeah,
time.
And what straight
Did
to
you like
Manhattan?
New York?
To Manhattan?
Yeah, I had family in New York and straight to actually Sleepy Hollow.
Oh.
Terrytown, the
Oh,
legend of
wow,
Sleepy Hollow. That's
yeah.
where I grew up. I went to Sleepy Hollow High
I'm
School.
going to be up at Peekskill on
That's
Thursday.
where my sister lives in Peekskill.
My partner Dennis is from Peekskill,
Oh,
so
get
we're going.
out.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just there.
I
a week
love
ago.
Terrytown.
Yeah, Terrytown's beautiful. It's just beautiful country, and it's like so convenient to New York City. So
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, I literally would have to like live up there and just take the train into the city.
And
you know?
that's what I did. I was there for 2 weeks recently, so just that commute is so easy. And it's, you get a little bit of the country,
and
a
then
little
you
bit
get
of the
out
city.
of the
Yeah.
city. Yeah.
And I
So,
started
wow,
doing that when I
that's-
was young, 16.
What a great place to grow up then.
Yeah.
Because you were close enough to the city. And
Very
yet,
close.
You know, but so you had a sort
Close
of nice,
enough to get a taste of
to
the
get
city
a little
before
wild.
I should
yeah.
have.
Wow. Yeah.
I made a face there.
That's another show.
That's another whole. Yeah, that's another
So
show.
It's live stream. We'll see that face
New
later.
York
It's all
City
being
in the late 70s, early 80s. So you can
Okay.
imagine.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank.
So when did the performing bug hit? Was that always there, or did it?
Yeah, I think you know when you're pretty much like either a class clown or just the goofy one in class in at home and stuff like that. I credit my mom; she's hysterical and she says a lot of funny.
You got a lot of
inappropriate things.
humor from her.
Yeah, so that and then some high school stuff, and then it was a way of avoiding going to university. So I went to the Academy of Dramatic Arts. Yay!
Yeah, right.
In New York.
Great
So,
school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the streets in New York was a great school.
It's
for
a whole
me.
different time
So,
then. Yeah.
and just growing up there and doing some stand up, doing some sketch, doing comedy.
Was stand up hard for you? Was that something?
You know
'cause
what?
Ralph and I talked about it. I did it a little bit years ago. Ralph has done it. I always say everyone should try it one time and then kill themselves.
I tried it, and actually, I've always been good at things that I don't necessarily enjoy.
Right,
That was one
right.
of them. I was pretty good at it, but it was just so hard.
It's
to be up there.
brutal.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
being up on stage with an ensemble, with
Right.
a group of people. I love the whole synergy with,
Sketch
with improv,
comedy, yeah.
and all that. That's
Right.
to me, it's just you feel more at home.
Yeah. Did you go into sketch comedy in New York? Was that one of your?
I didn't. I started actually. I did like so much extra work on all my children before I got my SAC card.
Oh, wow.
And then my friend, who was an actress, came out here. Funny, ironically enough, she came out here. Debbie Zane, who cast Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And we've known each other for a long time. And she says, get your SAC card and come out here. And I did that. And I came out here, and then I got involved in the Groundlings. And then
Right.
25 years later, she cast me in Hunger Games.
I
Oh my
love
God.
it.
Well,
That
you
is
know.
so-
It's a great story to know that people still look out for each other.
Right,
you know,
25 years
because-
later,
she's,
yeah.
what is the correct pronunciation of your character's name in the Hunger
It's,
Games?
Flavius.
Flavius.
But people have said Flavius. It's I think it goes back to ancient Roman times.
I see.
It's a very common family name, Flavius, when I was doing research.
Okay.
What a great film to
Yeah.
be, attached to.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea when you were making the first one? I guess you get an idea this is going to be epic.
You
It's
never
gonna
have
be
an idea.
huge.
I mean, well, it wasn't even in the breakdowns when they
Right.
were casting. It was I got a call and they said, "Do you want to read for this?" And it was like a small part, and I was like, "Yeah." But they said, "But although it's a small, but it's a minor but significant role, you'll be in all the movies." I'm like, "Yeah," but you never expect to get it. And then a few weeks later, I got the call and I got it, and the rest is history.
Wow.
Well,
let's go back because
Excellent.
I mean, prior to getting this, you've done a lot of comedy. And
mostly comedy, and it's kind of the box that they put you in.
Right.
So I did the Groundlings, which everyone knows.
Right.
About the Groundlings, a great talent pool of talent for everyone for SNL and Matt TV. So I did Groundlings, and then I did tons of live shows for many years after that, carrying props and costumes in my VW Bug and just going from theater to theater, doing all that.
Live shows, you mean doing your stand-up?
Yeah, doing my live show, sketch shows.
I see.
Anywhere.
Did you do
anywhere?
one-man show kind of
I
thing?
did a couple of sort of one-man show with another writer where we did two,
Okay, yeah.
However, and whenever you could showcase yourself, if you couldn't do it on your own.
Because this was prior to, the whole before YouTube and all that.
Now the kids have it so easy
exactly,
these days.
Exactly.
When you were doing the sketches, were you traveling with your friends, or would you all just meet there? Or
It depends.
I
mean,
it was
like guerrilla theater.
Yes.
It was old
right.
school.
Yeah. Right.
It's like we're gonna meet on this corner and we're gonna pass out flyers and hopefully get people to come and see us at the show.
Flyers, right.
Performed at the Upfront down in Santa Monica, at the Improv here on Melrose.
Oh, wow.
When they had a little theater space next door.
Right.
Oh my God, we've done shows in at Luna Park. Before it was Luna Park, and I remember running through the audience during the blackouts to change in the bathrooms.
Oh,
come
wow.
back on stage.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we've done shows at 4 in for like an audience of 3.
3 and
Right,
2
right,
were critics. Yeah.
Exactly.
These were like in the day of day jobs too. I remember
Oh, yeah.
having the temp jobs and the running around. But when you're young and it's so exciting that you don't think about.
You don't. Things are
I
moving
look back
so
now
fast.
some days and I think, wow, I don't have that kind of energy anymore. It's a different kind of energy.
I don't have that energy. I don't have that ego anymore. I don't have. I guess I still have ambition, but
It's a different
the
kind,
ego's
though.
different.
Yeah.
I don't want to work as hard anymore. So now I'm like fine with the ego. I'm just like, yeah, it's okay. It doesn't have to all be about me.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So how did you audition for SNL? Is that a
I didn't.
natural
I auditioned
question?
for Matt TV.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought maybe
no,
before.
that never happened.
Because
for
that
me.
SNL's The Groundlings is such a breeding ground.
I'll be really
for,
honest with you guys because it's been so long here.
Get
I
really
know,
close to the mic
let's,
when you say this,
let's lower
Nelson,
the
yeah.
bar here.
Let's-
Let's get a little.
yeah.
Throw a few people under the bus here. No, I'm not going
I-
to.
let's
I'm not going
go.
to say names. But,
I will.
It's a very competitive industry, especially in the comedy world. You don't have many friends in the comedy
Oh.
world. It's very, very competitive. It's a dog-eat-dog
Cutthroat.
world.
Yeah.
Very cutthroat. People aren't necessarily looking out for you.
Yeah.
And so anyway, when SNL was coming around, I had a couple of good friends on SNL. Let's just say they didn't necessarily ever call me up and say, hey, listen, they're auditioning. Never heard a word.
Never.
From anyone. Oh, one did offer. One that was on the show was a friend of mine. They did offer to get me extra work on the show.
Oh, that was nice. of
So
them.
a year later, I got on Matt TV anyway. So it
Well,
all
quite
worked out.
honestly, I thought Mad TV was superior and always. I mean, I was a huge Mad TV fan. I've always
agree.
watched SNL too, but it was just always. I always thought Mad TV was superior.
I think so, not just because I was on it. But SNL is an institution; it has a cachet. It's been
Yeah.
around for so much
Right.
longer. So, but
there was more diversity
Yeah.
on
There was
on
more
Mad
diversity
TV
on Mad
and,
TV.
You
and
know,
I thought it was a little edgier
Yes.
sometimes,
Yeah.
and I think
Oh,
it was more
totally.
relevant, a little current.
Yes.
I thought the actors that I got to work with were really awesome and really amazing, and they had amazing character talents. You know?
oh my God,
the characters that
we
they
could go
brought
down
on
the
the show.
Nicole Sullivan and
Yeah.
Deborah Wilson. I mean, we could just go
Mike
down the.
Did you work with
McDonald,
Deborah?
Yeah, Deborah.
Ralph
She's
knows
what I call
Deborah.
good crazy. I love Deborah.
Yeah, she's
She's
so
good
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, just
She's-
amazing.
It's like, where's the off switch?
Switch, I know.
But luckily, I never found it, so she just entertained me for,
I know.
for
She
such a long time. I
is
love her.
absolutely amazing.
She's
yeah.
awesome. She was one of the first people ever just take me under her wing on Matt TV. She was awesome.
Oh,
She's
that's
like
so
the
nice.
Because
welcome
she was
committee.
there almost the whole time, right?
Oh, yeah.
She
She was
and
there
Mike,
for, like,
Michael
yeah.
McDonald too, or
Mike was there for 11.
Nicole.
Lamar.
or
Nicole, Phil. I stepped in when Phil Lamar left.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a gift to be on that show.
Mhm.
Aries Spears.
Will
Aries
Sasso.
Spears.
Will Sasso, who I still run into.
Okay.
And I still run into a few
Arden
people.
Marin. What is her? The
I never worked with her.
Okay.
She came after.
She came after.
And Fax Bar and Adam Small, they used to produce, I think.
They did.
Okay.
When I got on, they were still sort of consulting.
I
but
see.
Yeah.
Do you know Keegan? Keegan
I
Michael
didn't work
Key?
with them. They came in after me, but they're great and they've had a great career.
Oh, my God.
Bless them, man. They have like all that great stuff that
Yeah.
they're doing on Comedy
So
Central.
you were a writer as well. Was that part? Did everyone write that was also on Mad TV? Is that
Some
sort
of us did. You wrote. It's sort of like SNL.
Right,
you would
right.
sort of bring your characters or your sketches that you had done in live shows or at the Groundlings or Second City or wherever you were.
What were
coming
like
from.
your when you got on the show? What was had you had a character that you were sort of known in the club in your shows
Well-
for, or and did it make it on the show? You know what I mean? Was that your?
It's very different how things work
Right.
out. Like when I would do Groundling shows or live shows. I felt like I was always the star of my shows, and I
Of course you
rocked it
were.
with all the characters that I was doing. But then once you got on Matt TV, it was like different. It was like, oh, wait a second. So I think I got to do maybe one out of all the characters that I actually got to do in my live shows. Also, when I came on Matt TV, it was during the Latin explosion. So
Right.
Ricky Martin had a career back then,
Right.
And so thank you, Ricky, if you're
Thanks,
listening,
Ricky.
because of him, I think I got on Matt TV, not because
Oh,
of my
because
talent.
of your impersonation of Ricky?
I did some silly random last minute impression of
Come
Ricky.
in.
It was like, it's like, that's me. I feel crazy, and that was Ricky.
Is that Zach?
Hi.
Publicist
I wanted to
extraordinaire.
meet you.
Hey,
How are
Zach,
you?
how are
Hey,
you?
Zach. Thank you
Zach
so
Gruber,
much. I wanted to
yes.
meet you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing this wonderful talent
Eat
here.
cookies, Zach.
Yeah, we've been baking all week. So that was the big Latin
Yeah,
thing
that was
happened.
the whole Latin
Would
explosion.
you do a lot of impersonations?
So I
of-
became the Latin guy, Matt TV, basically, and I didn't get it till like after the fact. Once
Until
I was
you
off
were-
Matt TV, it's like, wait, I was like the tokens.
right.
So I got to play. Oh my God, who didn't I play? Antonio
Banderas.
Yes,
Banderas.
I remember that. It's
Antonio
hilarious.
Banderas, Ricky Martin a few times, Rico Suave.
I love it. Rico Suave.
Who else did I play?
You can just YouTube Nelson.
Yeah,
it's all
just
there.
Enrique Iglesias.
Yes.
But I wasn't getting it. I'm so stupid. I'm kind of naive. I'm like, wait, I'm not getting it. And then it hit me when I had to do some sketch where it was a bunch of illegals working for Mary Poppins.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know if you saw that sketch. It did really well, but I was kind of pissed off about it.
Wow.
I think that's what got me fired. Because I went in there's like, can I make fun of somebody other than the Mexicans?
Yeah.
A year later, they didn't renew my contract.
They're like, you are Hispanic. You know
So
that,
yeah,
right?
sometimes you are supposed to kind of roll with the punches, especially on sketch shows.
Did you work with Bobby Lee?
No, he came after.
He came
I-
after,
yeah,
okay.
he's crazy.
Oh my God.
Again, crazy fun.
Crazy fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like all over the
Oh
room.
my God, yeah.
See, no, you're not. See, it's funny because a lot of comics, you either have one extreme or the other. You have the ones that are always on, and then they're just manic depressives when they're
And
off.
a mess, yeah.
And a hot
Yeah.
mess. And then you have,
Right.
you strike me as
He
someone
didn't
who's
say
pretty
anything.
even keel, most of the time.
Yeah.
But
Do
by
you
the
have
way,
like
there's
a- do you
somebody
have-
behind
do you have
I'm
Nelson.
not bipolar or anything.
Do you have a
and-
torturous childhood that you pull your comedy from?
No, I think, being bullied, being an immigrant, being uncircumcised growing up had a lot to do with my
TMI,
sense-
but
yeah,
yes.
TMI,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
But that was a
that's
big
okay.
source of my
Apparently
bullying.
There's a
more-
web. I think there's a whole website for that.
Yeah.
That was one of the...
And we're having Cassidy McMillan on later.
Is she circumcised?
No, but yeah,
She's-
she's
She's in a
No,
documentary about bullying, and
She's
we're going
doing
to
a
bring that up to her.
documentary. No, you were bullied because of your uncircumcised.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
working on a one-man show, and part of it is I
because
talk
in
about that.
in middle school locker room.
Yeah, because when you
Right,
get to
when
middle
you-
school, that's when you start
do the
sharing. So
PE.
I have
My
my own
God.
carry moment of plug it
so
up.
it was totally. Look at his dick. Get him. Okay.
Mine was like sagger, anteater, anteater.
Right,
things like that.
right,
So,
right.
See the things that the kids are awful.
But
Oh my
apparently
God.
you're supposed to have more sensation than the circumcised
and I
male.
do, which is
Right.
why.
And your
we-
IQ's
This conversation's evolved. Really,
Yes.
not what we expected,
Yes.
right?
Wow.
Yes.
Nelson,
That's
let's
comedy.
think about what we've learned about you
Let's
so
talk about
far.
my
Now,
penis.
do you ever see? I always wonder when people were bullied and they obviously have a wound from it. Do you ever see the bullies as a grown-up? And what are they doing?
Oh,
Probably
actually,
nothing.
I went home and I didn't see a bully, but I had a drink with my prom date of 32 years ago. I was dating
Wow.
myself, but and then they brought along this other football player, star football player, and really nice guy, and we got to chat about high school and stuff like that. But no, none of the bullies showed
Because
up.
I always wonder what happens to the bullies, and usually they're
They're in
not
jail.
really successful
dead.
people.
Well,
I think
They're politicians.
some are.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they end up being just
a lot of
big
people
losers.
peak. They peak in high
They
school,
peak
or
in
they
high
peak
school.
in junior high.
Yeah.
or
But I
something.
fought back. I was
Oh,
not.
you-
Oh
okay.
my God! Yeah, I got expelled.
You were
from
scrappy.
School.
You're
yeah.
scrappy.
You were a scrapper?
Oh,
Oh
wow.
yeah.
Good for you.
I was fighting. Oh, I was. Yeah.
You're like anybody.
I didn't
from
take
West
it.
Side Story.
I am.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Actually, I
always-
played Chino.
Who's
Right.
always
West
played?
Side Story.
Okay, listen. It's so funny because anybody's is always played by a girl, right?
Yes, I love.
Who's a tomboy?
I could pull off that.
Okay, yeah. At this
Did-
performance,
Anybody's.
the role
That's
of
such a-
tomboy will be Nelson Ascencio.
I love
Okay.
that. It's so funny. Anybody's.
Have you done musicals also?
I did West Side Story. I did, but this is like high school and community theater. West Side Story.
Well, they all count.
Does
It
that
all count. Absolutely.
And
But have you done Broadway,
Guys,
really?
Have I? No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So who
You did
were
Guys
Anyone
and
can be on
Dolls?
Broadway. Even what's her name from the Kardashians was about to be on Broadway.
Which one?
Kim.
Kim?
Yeah, she was going to be on Broadway doing was it
Bootylicious?
Chicago or
Oh my God! They've.
the mom.
Are you
The
serious?
mom.
Not Kim.
Chris Jenner.
Oh, Kris
Chris
Jenner.
Chris. That's
Yeah.
what
Well, she has all the
I'm
talent.
sorry, I know all the names.
The talented one.
Yeah.
Who's like your comic that you looked up to? Who did
Oh
you
my
look
God,
up to?
grown up to. Oh my God, I loved all the people on SNL. You know, Dan Aykroyd and Jerry Lewis for
Jerry
some
Lewis.
stuff, just for like
Right,
the physical
right,
comedy
right,
stuff.
right.
Lucille Ball.
Oh, yes.
Lucille Ball, thank you. I love Lucy.
Yeah.
She's
Anyone
my
like
favorite.
that great comedy. What's his name? Rowan Atkinson from Mr. Bean.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
He's
really
really
funny.
funny, Jackie Gleason.
Jackie
from the
Gleason.
Honeymooners.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
great. I mean, that's the stuff that I
Right.
grew up with.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
And
Are you always writing in your head when things happen? Are you always like? Is there always a comedy twist to
There
everything
is.
that happens in your life?
Actually, it's funny. It just made me think. Yesterday, we went to the Grammy Museum downtown.
Oh, okay.
And there was
Is
a-
that worth seeing?
Yeah, it's the second time I've been there.
Oh,
and it
thank
was,
you, Tony.
It was funny because they have a display of all the artists and things, and they had a tribute to Jenny Rivera.
Thank you, Tony.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
right.
I mean, it's really sad, and she was a great talent. But what struck me is kind of what I see is funny. It's like they had a display of her gowns and dresses, and then they had a little display of the credit cards that she used when she was young and struggling. But it was like a Costco card.
That's
And
not a credit card.
I know it was a Costco card, and what was the other one?
Your partner's laughing. That's really
It was
lame.
no, it wasn't even a Visa. It was like Costco and Macy's or something.
Maybe you should
and
tell
it said
them that
that's
you
what
think-
she used to get by. I'm like Costco, and well, that's
Well,
what
no,
happens to they eat and they dress
She had a
well.
lot of toilet paper
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I guess some good shoes.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then Cyndi Lauper's outfit was nice, but it had like food on it. Like,
Oh my God! I don't think I'll bother.
wow.
It was
Wow.
like, what was she eating that night? Because they had some food crumbs.
Clearly, they
on
had
it.
nothing to do with how they
That's
were
weird.
portrayed at the
So
museum.
yeah,
That's
I'll
really
see things a
weird.
little bit. It's like I'll find some humor in that. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, that's kind of odd.
Right. So like when you're having with friends or whatever, and if you're having a serious, if they're trying to have a serious conversation, do you ever like in your mind just want to crack a joke and you have
Not
to
in my
not?
mind.
Okay.
No.
I
Okay.
just go for it.
You just
You
do
out
it.
loud.
and,
in
and,
Okay.
front
there's,
of
and
them.
if there's drinking involved,
Like, do you
even more
laugh
so.
at funerals? And I mean, you
It's
must.
kind of like it reminds me of Megan Mullally's character on Will and Grace when she would
Karen.
sit at the bar and the bartender had said, "Oh, yeah, my wife died in a terrible car crash," and Megan would sit there.
Right. I mean,
Exactly.
I can't. I mean, I find comedy in a lot of
Exactly.
stuff, and I'm not a comedian, so I can only imagine that if you're a comedian, that you would find comedy in everything.
Yes, it's
Even
a
when
coping
you're not
skill.
suppo-
I think for most
I-
people it's
yes,
a coping skill,
yes,
except comedians
yes.
will take it further and will write about it.
Right.
Where
right.
most people may not talk about it,
Right.
but it's a coping skill for
Right.
most of us, you
Yes.
know?
But most
Yes.
comedians are really good dramatic actors also.
You know
I
what?
think so.
I am. I think I'm a better actor than I am a
I think
comedian.
comedy's
but
a lot
no one gives
harder.
me a shot at drama because, like
And
I
does
said,
you-
they put you
they
in a
pigeonhole
comedy
Right, and
box.
does your reel indicate comedy?
For the most part, it does.
So see,
yeah.
it is interesting. Like, and I'm prolific at that too, but I get those opportunities on stage, not in film and
Right.
TV.
Yeah.
Or unless it's a real independent project.
So do you
Right.
have? Is it harder for casting people to bring you in on 1 hour
For
shows
dramas.
and stuff?
Well,
or
they just don't.
They don't. Oh, they don't. Okay.
I mean, I've done like a couple. Oh my God, yeah, I've done a couple,
Right.
but it's mostly sitcoms or
Right.
sketch shows or improv shows, and even right now with the Sci Fest,
Right.
That's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
And it's a really
it's a
funny one,
radio
but
drama.
It's a radio drama,
Now-
but it's funny.
Now, how are you pronouncing that? The title, is it Alien the Family?
Alien the Family
Okay.
is how I believe it's correctly
Right. Okay, that's
pronounced.
hilarious. Because have you met David Dean Petrell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
David
okay.
is a friend and a teacher and an acting mentor of mine, so he's
Oh,
great.
excellent. Well, David is a friend of ours, and he's wonderful. So when we found out that you were a part of it, I wanted to plug that for David as well, because you guys are opening. Well, your evening B,
Yes.
his starts May 6th. I
Yeah,
think
but
you
it
guys-
starts May 6th.
May 6th.
and your May 13th is
Yeah,
your
we're
first
the
show.
following. So it's two
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Weeks
and-
of each
yeah.
program.
And it's like 8 original sci-fi short plays, sort of like little Twilight Zone episodes, and it's running the whole month.
Now, how do you pronounce your
Where do you
character?
find it? Where
Where-
does
oh,
everybody
yes,
find it?
give us
Go
the-
to sci-fest.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Now,
think
how
if
do
you,
you-
don't put the dash, you'll end up at some porn site or something.
Yeah,
Lucky you.
sci-fest.com.
I'll tell my husband not to put the dash sign.
Right.
How do
He's
you
already got
pronounce
his
your
sides.
character name in the radio drama?
Bizanzabat.
Bizamzabat.
Bizamzabat.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
I wrote it down. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you how you pronounce
Yeah.
that. Now, you guys,
Bizamzabat.
Planet Earth, I wanted you all to know David Dean Petrell, as Nelson mentioned, is an accomplished hyphenate in the Hollywood industry. And he
But
created...
he's not here.
No, but he's not here. But he's going to be a guest on our show. He's
Okay.
been booked, but just couldn't do it
Okay.
because of previous engagements.
Allegedly.
But allegedly. I mean, people say anything not to come to the show. Okay, a lot of people really like coming here. And then some
Ralph,
other
don't
people
make a
not-
meal out of it.
Okay.
It's an appetizer.
Yeah, right. Because I'll go on and on, Nelson.
It's an
Okay.
appetizer.
Yeah. So David Dean Petrell created this Sci-Fest Festival. It's the first annual LA Science Fiction one-act play festival, and Nelson Ascencio is a part of that. As is David. He is going to be acting in. I'm going to go see David. His play is The Ringer.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is directed by Jim Fall, who's another good friend of ours.
And he's
So-
directed David in a lot of his
It's
other
one-man
shows.
shows,
Yeah,
too,
David's
as well.
awesome. David's he's a hyphen. He can
He's
do
an
it all.
Emmy winner.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
and
have
you've
a phone
studied
call, Ralph.
you've studied acting with him as well.
I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. David's been a great piece of my life, in the last
He's
few
a great
years,
guy.
and just
Yeah.
bringing him, just getting me involved with the Sci-Fest was even more of a gift.
And how did you become a part of it? What was your journey to the Sci-Fest?
It was an offer.
Okay. Oh, good.
Thank
No,
God.
work it out. Work those direct
straight
offers.
out offer.
No, that's great. Listen, one thing you'll learn about me and about this show is things tend to boomerang to me. And while we're talking
all about you.
Right,
yeah,
but-
Yeah.
Because remember how
He-
you learned, like I've learned that it doesn't have to all be about me. I haven't gotten to that point
No.
yet. So listen, I wanted Planet Earth to know that we're talking about David Dean Petrell, and David and I share the same birthday, April 6th. We shared our
so
birthday
does my
last week
ex.
together. Oh, okay.
Ralph, your
Yeah.
camera's
Aries.
not. The camera's not on.
No one can even see me now, right, John? Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah.
How do I look? Oh, we have a call?
Yes, we have a caller.
Who's on?
Is this our next guest?
is Kitt
Kitt
Shapiro.
Shapiro?
Is this?
We're interrupting Nelson's.
Nelson, do you mind? We're gonna
No,
We're
go-
gonna
go
all
for it.
meet and talk to the wonderful.
Sure.
Listen,
Kitt-
Nelson, somebody better came on. So we're gonna just listen.
Yeah, talk to
We're
your
just gonna-
publicist right there, man.
We're just going to put you on hold for a second.
They
Okay,
warned me.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh God.
Where you're both with the same publicist, so it's all family. This is all one big thing.
I am joking with you.
What a
Well,
bitch.
luckily you've learned that it's not all about you.
She's
okay,
not
so go-
circumcised.
It's give and take.
Okay.
So,
I think she's on the line.
hi, Kitt. Are you on the line?
I am here.
Oh.
I'm here. I'm listening. It's I'm an only child, so it's always all about me.
Okay, listen, Kitt Shapiro.
Oh, you and Ralph really need to meet.
It out. Kitt Shapiro. First of all, you and I are going to get along great being that only child girl.
Yes. Well, first of all, this is Jasper, the host. Although you may think Ralph is the host. At some point, I will take the show back over. Anyway, welcome aboard. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to have you, Kitt. Listen, and it's thanks to your publicist, Zach. You were so nice that you had been listening to our show. And thank you. Zach has been very
He's the one that likes it.
How did Zach find our show? We'll need to talk to you about that.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, that is
Okay.
so nice. Well, Kitt.
Yes, Sally.
Oh,
yeah, the wonderful Sally Kirkland.
Well, it's such.
Yes,
it's,
yes.
It's really just an honor to have you on the show because, as you've heard and as you've seen in the publicity, I've always said Planet Eartha, and it was always just my homage to your mother, who I just loved, and I've gotten to impersonate as well, along with the Jimmy James that I had read had impersonated her. So it's a great thrill to get to meet
Well,
you.
you're much better looking. I can see that, so I can see what
Throwing shade.
Wow.
Thank you so very much. Well, the forum is yours. Anything, we love the Simply Eartha website. But anything you'd like to
Thank
share
you.
with us, because it's really, really empowering what you're doing.
Well, say hi. Also, we have Nelson here and Dara as well. that
Hello.
are-
Hello, Kitt.
Hi,
Hello,
Kit.
Dara. Hello, Nelson. Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
on this as well. And it is at simplyeartha.com. It's a wonderful,
Beautiful stuff.
amazing. You have great taste, and of course, it's all based on your iconic mom, Eartha Kitt's style, and her. Just tell us how this all happened for you in terms of
Yes.
the design.
Well, first of all, she named me. She gave me her name. She used to introduce us, and she would say, I'm Eartha, and this is Kitt,
Wow.
as if I completed her somehow. And as I've gotten older, I really do believe that I did complete her. She didn't have a family. She was orphaned. She never knew who her father was. And I think that I really gave her roots. It sounds sort of cliche, given that her given name was Eartha, but I do think that I gave her the roots, the stability that she so yearned for her entire life. And I'm an only child, as I mentioned, and we really sort of, as my mother would have said, we grew each other up. We were just each other's best, besties, and as close as possible as could be. I traveled everywhere with her when I was very young for many, many years, because she felt that travel was the best education you could possibly get. You can't learn any of that in the books
Right.
in school, because the way that we traveled, even though she was a big celebrity, and of course we stayed in beautiful places and resorts and hotels, my mother made sure that I really saw how the world functioned, and she would become friends with the hotel staff and locals and take me to see how real people lived. So we're in Bangkok in the middle of the summer, and it's 100,000 degrees heat and humidity. And as worldly as I may have been, I was 13 years old. I was still, a princess from Beverly Hills. And there I am. My mother's schlepping me through the city of Bangkok in the open air market, and with a cab driver that she had befriended, and he took us to his house, and so we met his family, and we ate with them, and he took us to this open air market where he shopped, and all I wanted was the hotel and the air conditioning. But my mother knew that with all the rolling eyes that she was getting from me, that this was going to be more important than any hotel, air conditioned,
Right.
room service, and television, because that's what the real world is like. So this is how I grew up, and I grew up with a woman who was so incredibly her name and so connected to the universe and nature, and really got it. I mean, today everybody is sort of there being part of the planet and how important it is, and taking care of our planet and recycling, repurposing. But I grew up with a woman who that's truly who she was. And when we had our home in Beverly Hills, my mother grew vegetables and had chickens and had compost pail, and I was, mortified with embarrassment when my friends came over, and, there's compost pail on the kitchen counter, and my mother's got the collard greens in the sink, and, taking the snails and putting them back in the garden.
And asking your
I'm
friends,
thinking,
Kid, listen, can you decapitate this chicken for me right quick?
Well,
we
now
didn't eat the chickens. We only ate the eggs.
Okay.
I will tell you that. She didn't eat the chickens. But this is who she was. This was her real, that was her connection to the planet, and you didn't waste anything. So the evolution of the brand, the lifestyle brand Simply Eartha, was because my entire life I grew up with a woman who said, don't throw anything away. And it also meant that if I have touched it, said it, written it, done it, don't waste it. Don't let it die with me when I die. So here I have taken her words, and now I am able to give voice to her words. And a lot of the things that she said, she would coin them as kiddisms. Not that they were anything that original. I mean, she would say things like, don't panic. It doesn't change a thing, and it only clouds your ability to see the opportunity that may lay in front of you. But that's no different than keep calm and carry on. But, these were the words, these were the things that she said. Don't panic. Never miss an opportunity to shut up. My flaws make me who I am.
There's so many. I read them on the website. They're great. Like you said, Kid, it's like they're not each one of them isn't necessarily earth-shattering or anything like profound. It's very
But
simple.
people need reminders.
They
Yes.
need reminders,
They need
and
reminders.
it's Simply Eartha. And just listen to your story. It's so
It is.
funny how I came up with Planet Eartha, just not even knowing that Eartha was so grounded like that. I just liked saying it because it was about Eartha Kitt.
I never knew you said it for that reason.
Yeah, I mean when Jasper and I first started,
You
when
sure
we
you're not trying to just kiss her ass?
yeah, well,
Oh, well, there's that,
I
but-
probably am. Well, there's always that.
But
Kit.
this time he's actually telling the truth.
But this time it actually works in my favor. But yeah, when I started it was because years ago, Kit, I did a play in New York, and there was a section where I impersonated your mother, and I got.
We'll send you the clip.
I would love to
Like
see
you
that.
haven't had
And
many people send you clips.
and you can put it on the website. And but I'm joking.
no, he's not.
Oh, goodness.
But anyway, I had so much fun impersonating your mother, and I was in the New York Times. There's a picture of me as Eartha in the costume, so it was just fun for me. So all these years later, now I'm doing this show with Jasper, and just one day I came up with you know why? Because it was global.
there was a global.
Boys,
Yeah, at
Jasper,
the other
were you falling
station.
asleep?
No,
It
I'm
was too much.
riveted
He's awake.
with your.
Listen,
He's awake.
no, listen. He had a fucking 20-ounce of
Let's get
coffee.
back
I don't
to
know
Kit.
why he's
Let's
dripping
get
off.
back to
Okay.
Kit.
I'm
Okay.
here.
So no, the other radio station was called Global Voice.
His kid's
It was,
still on the line.
is she
Kit
even
is
there?
still on the
Kid
line.
said, "Fuck
I'm
this
still
shit."
here.
Okay, and
like-
that's why I started saying Planet Earth. Okay, I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay, back to Kit.
Ralph? Was there a point at all?
Yeah, the point was that I
That
started
he has a connection with
Planet
with
Eartha, Simply
Kitt.
Eartha, and that everything that Kit is doing is so profound. Like Kit, just take. Kit, no, listen, Kit.
Aren't you
Wow.
glad you didn't fly in
Wow.
for this?
Well-
Kit?
You're hired. I don't need to say anything. This is great. I'm just I love it.
No, listen, I read your website, and because it's so exhaustive and so thorough about you and your mom that it was really fun, to talk about all this. And I said how nice
you.
it is that you're doing this for your mother instead of writing some tell-all book where she made you drink out of the toilet or something horrible. You're
Well, she
actually.
might have.
Well, that may
because
be
she was
coming.
recycling.
Well, actually, Kit, you're
Well, I wasn't allowed any wire hangers. I will tell you that
Okay,
much.
good, good.
but no,
but not in a bad, not in an evil way. I think that it's interesting. I look at my ability, and you talk about that people need reminding. So even if the sayings are not earth shattering and anything that we haven't all been hearing and have heard, but it's the reminders and the connection that how we can all somehow relate to our mothers or our fathers or somebody that's a motherly figure in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I can to make other people aware. My mother's favorite thing in life was to start conversations, real conversations, start people thinking on a very deep level, not superficial, talking about shoes and fashion, which is what I would have always preferred to have talked about, but. She really liked to be connected to people on a very deep emotional level. So if I can take her words and continue or start a conversation between other people, other people thinking, whether it be because they understand, they hear that it's coming from a story of a daughter paying tribute to her mother, words that I grew up with, however it starts, I can pass them along and get other people talking. That is the ultimate in coming full circle to how my mother wanted her, to be remembered and lived her life.
Exactly.
Well, it's a perfect time with Mother's Day as well for your website and for people to to go on and look at things that they can buy and
Yep.
yeah.
That's so
And
cool.
let's
Was your mother
and I have such a. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was your mother an only child?
My mother had half sisters that she knew not very, she remembers very young, but didn't know them as she got older. As I said, she never knew who her father was. Her mother died when she was very young, and my mother, because of her color, she was very light skinned. She was from the South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, and in those days, she was born in 1927. She was referred to as a yellow gal.
Wow.
And that was because she was clearly, the father was probably a white man, although nobody knows for sure.
So who raised her? Was she in an orphanage? Who raised her? If her
She
mother
was not
died.
in order. She was passed from family to family. Nobody would really take her because they didn't want that, as she remembers people saying, "I won't have that yellow gal in my
light
house."
skin, because she went with her aunt Mamie, right? Mamie Kitt.
Yes, her aunt who lived in New York was finally was told that you have to take this child out of the South because someone's going to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
So her aunt sent for her, and my mother was brought to New York to live with an aunt who years later my mother actually suspected as possibly being her birth mother.
I said, wow.
Well, I'm
Oh,
actually
wow.
I grew up in Georgia. I'm from Georgia, and so I know that terminology of that
Yellow
whole
gal.
yeah. And it's interesting because being in Georgia, I was an Eartha Kitt fan even as a kid in Georgia. Of course, the Batman series was a big one
Right.
for me. But I always remembered that she was from the South, and it's interesting because today with the whole compost and everything, your mom would be really right in times with the whole green and saving and recycling, and she was a little bit ahead
She
of
was
her
always
time.
laughing because she didn't understand why everybody was making such a big deal about this recycling and composting because being from the South and being grown up on a plantation, she picked cotton when she was a very young girl. And that's just how it was. That's what you did.
Right.
Of course you recycled it because you gave back to the earth what you took out of it. You didn't just throw it in the garbage. You put it back.
Right.
That's great. So has design been a big part of your life, interior decorating and design, or is this something that you've just recently gotten into?
I've always been a creative person, and my mother obviously was also very creative. And our home, although my mother was her house, her style was very eclectic. Mm-hmm. She loved things that people. She loved indigenous art, but she also loved what her fans gave her. Those were her most precious treasures. And so, but I also worked for my mother because it's fun. It's just being in a family business is just always wonderful. And nepotism, I highly recommend it. By the way,
absolutely,
it's a great way to get a job.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And as my mother would say, when I die, it's all gonna be yours to begin. Anyway. So if you're gonna steal it from me now, you're gonna get it when I die. What difference does it make? So it's a good
What a
system for
sense
her.
of humor.
She's keeping it real.
What a
I
sense
love
of
it.
humor.
That's true. But
So, but I worked for my mother for 25 years, and we were together a lot. And so when she died, we lived only 3 miles from each other. We live in Connecticut, and all of these writings she had written. She wrote. She was a voracious reader and loved to write. And she would just write sometimes, like diarrhea of the brain. It would just come flowing out. A lot of it, you read and you go, oh my God, what was this woman thinking? She's like a lunatic. Some of it actually is very profound and makes a lot of sense. So I took all these thousands of pieces of paper and started to compile all of the quote unquote Kittisms. And what I like about designing and putting them on now, I have them on bracelets and they're on T-shirts and we have the candles, and everything's made in the United States because my mother was so pro-USA made.
Mm-hmm.
Most everything's made from recycled or natural, it's either natural or recycled materials, and everything's made by local artisans because my mother really felt that the local artisans were really the foundation of what made this country so great.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So, and I would never do anything, certainly intentionally to not pay tribute to my mother in that respect, because if it didn't make it in the United States, then I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about this is that this is a side of my mother, as you mentioned just a few minutes ago, people didn't really know about. Mm-hmm. So to be able to bring this Simply Eartha, because she would have referred to herself as just a cotton picker from the South,
Mm-hmm.
Eartha May, which is, as you know, being from Georgia,
absolutely.
The May is the middle name is very common.
Yes.
But this was a part of her that people don't really know about. They know her as being the diva or that Catwoman, that feline sort of sex symbol, sexy persona.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a part that I can really share. That was the foundation of what I think made my life so blessed and made me a person that really appreciates so much in life that I was lucky to know while she was alive. I knew how much she loved me. We knew how we felt about each other, and that was the greatest gift that she could give me, was knowing how much she loved me.
Wow.
Oh,
well,
that's
I
so
know
great.
she
When I
would
was
be.
a teenager, as a teenager and a 20-something-year-old, having your mother love you that much, you want to just, like take a fork and poke her eyes out. It's like, leave me
Right.
alone already. So
Right.
this is not a Nirvana story of how fabulous and how easygoing my life was. I was a typical teenager and 20-something who just, wanted her to not talk, not breathe, and please, whatever you do, don't sing.
Right.
So,
Turn it off, mother.
right. Just
I
stay in the corner and don't pretend we don't know each other.
I had that same relationship with my mom that you had, as far as that.
Right. So,
That I knew how much she loved me.
wonderful, though.
It is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew how much my mom
Well,
loved
It's the
me.
way it's the way that we all have, we all evolve, and I think that that's the piece I hope that people see, is that this is real. This is not about this, this sort of putting her up on a pedestal and making her, a saint. It's not real. It
Right.
has nothing to do with that. This was a real mother-daughter relationship. But at the foundation of it was this knowledge that I had this incredible gift of a woman who loved me so very much with all her heart, and that I was blessed enough to know that during our lives together is really what gives me the impetus to want to pay tribute and do this honor to her.
Excellent.
Wow.
That's so
Well,
great.
she would be
You
very,
could tell by
very
her,
proud of
by
you.
her
yeah.
person. You could tell that she was an electric woman.
Yes.
That there was much more going on than acting.
But like Kitt said, it's great to find, see this other side of her mom,
Right,
because
right.
the public image was
yeah,
like
the public
you said,
image
Well,
is
the maternal-
glamorous,
The
is
diva.
maternal part, right.
charismatic,
Right.
beautiful, exotic woman.
Right.
And,
Right.
I like hearing the nitty gritty. She was down on the floor scrubbing. And,
Yeah.
she was, all about the earth. One thing I wanted to bring up, not to be a downer, and I know it's not a downer because of you put it so beautifully on your website. You quoted this from another man, that when everybody is born twice, once for their actual birth, once when your mother dies. And Eartha died on Christmas. So when I was first researching and realized that was the actual day, I thought, oh God, how hard it must be for you on Christmas. And I thought, you know what, I want to ask you, what is that like? Maybe it's not so bad. It's really it's twofold for you, because it's a birth and a death, and it's in my opinion. So I wanted you to address that, if you would, for a second.
Well, my mother dying on Christmas Day, I don't think was an accident.
An accident.
Somehow I think it was calculated on her part. Because
She pulled
first of all,
she pulled
you
focus.
know, it was very inconvenient for the funeral parlor and to come and out and leave their families to come and to the house. First of all, so everybody had to make a big stink. But my mother, Santa Baby, the song that that is synonymous with her and the Christmas season, which was written for her. In the early 1950s,
Oh, I did.
she wanted to make sure that people remembered every time they hear it that and that I would be getting residuals for the rest of my life.
God
I
bless
mean,
her.
the woman was not. She was not.
She knew what she was doing,
Did
yeah.
everything very deliberately. There's
I
nothing
love
this woman
that.
did that was by accident.
Wow. Okay. Work it out. Thank you for that explanation. It was like, Eartha, how fierce was that? It's like, no, I'm just going to die on Christmas because that'll just. Cause
Right, I'm going to die on Christmas because that's just going to be how people. I'm going to make sure that Santa Baby is.
you love me
associated
so
with
much
me
for Santa's
the
baby.
rest
I'll
of
fucking
eternity.
die on the day. How about that? Okay. So there.
So, Kitt, but are you on Twitter, Facebook, any other places people?
I'm on everything.
Oh, good. Good for you.
You're splattered
I'm
all over the
everywhere.
place,
I'm,
kid.
I'm ubiquitous. That was the word of the day, by the way, on my dictionary thing.
Oh, wow.
I'm ubiquitous. I'm everywhere. I'm Twitter, Kitt Shapiro, Twitter, Simply Eartha, Facebook. I've got The Eartha Kitt, which is my mother's page, Simply Eartha page, and Kitt Shapiro. Having three personalities.
Yeah,
when
that
you're,
would be
when
hard.
you're
That
one
Jasper
person and
has
you're an
that.
only child, you're used to using your imagination and becoming many different people.
Oh,
so I'm
tell me
using
about
it very
it.
well.
Well, listen, my dear, it's
And
been a
I'm also on Instagram and let's see, Google Plus,
wow.
LinkedIn, whatever, and whatever else comes
Tinder,
up next.
Tinder.
I'll probably be
Wow.
there too.
Grinder.
Grindr.
You might as well start a Grinder account. Okay.
Well, Kitt, thank you so much for calling in. This
If you're
has been a
ever
real
in
joy.
town
Yes,
during,
we'd love to have you.
we'd love to
Thank
have
you,
in
Kitt
person.
Shapiro. You are a treat. Thank you for taking the time to call in.
Oh, you're very welcome. You guys sound like you have a blast, and I love that. That's what life is all about. And I will take you up on that
Yes,
when I'm
absolutely.
out there.
Yes.
I'm coming up.
That would be
Please.
so
Yeah,
great.
and
do.
actually, listen, and Kitt, because you are so ubiquitous, in a few days when this show gets published, the live streamed version, send that
More
out
like
to
a few weeks.
Yes, send that out to all your people. Okay.
I will. I like how you used it in a sentence. That was good. I will definitely do that because, and I will, people. There was a woman who told me once that I don't have a nice voice like my mother. So
That's
I'm sure
not
people
true.
want
That's
to-
That's
not true.
Here.
I hope she's. I don't know what. Jasper will say it.
I'm not saying
It's
anything.
all good. It's all good.
Okay,
yeah,
It
that's
doesn't
not a
matter.
nice thing to say to
No,
somebody.
your
Well-
voice is lovely, and you're lovely.
Thank you, Kit, so much for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
Thank
Have
you,
a great
Kit.
one.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Bye, Kitt Shapiro.
Yay.
Bye.
Planet
Bye. Have a
Eartha.
good evening.
Thank you.
You
Bye-bye.
too, honey.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
calling in.
Planet Eartha, you've been listening to Simply Eartha. Eartha Kitt's daughter, Kitt Shapiro. She was fierce. Thank you for that.
Now
Okay.
back to Nelson.
And shut up, Ralph.
Okay.
Okay.
Because Nelson wants to go to dinner and he's just over it.
Now it's all
He's
about.
hungry.
I've had low
Now
blood
it's all
sugar for the
about
last 10
Nelson.
minutes
There's
now.
cookies.
Do you want a cookie?
Oh no, then I'll be too hyper.
I know, right? I swear, you people will just milk anything. Eartha Kitt dies on Christmas. You're all
was great.
hungry from your
I
fucking
didn't-
movie.
Wasn't that neat?
That was a great question. That was a great interview.
That
It
was interesting. This-
Yes.
riveting. I was just sitting there,
Yes.
just listening to her.
Yes,
First of all,
isn't it fun?
Nelson, you look like a kid. I'm
I
looking at
do?
you. I'm like,
You're
you look
young.
Yeah,
like.
I mean, you
Young.
very youthful.
Oh, I carry
Yes.
around a filter.
Yeah,
I know
okay,
you. I know
that's
you
what-
do, but you look
Yes.
like you. God, you're just a baby.
You
Oh,
do
I'm
look
not,
like
but
yeah.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no, you're a veteran, but you look young, and it's going to
A
benefit
little bit
us.
of gray right here.
Oh, yeah, a
a
little
teeny
gray
bit.
there.
Yeah, because I'm near death.
Nothing downtown
and I'm
yet,
still
thank
vibrant.
God.
So
Nothing
you know.
downtown.
No,
nice.
not yet. That'll be a depressing day. You know.
Well, with the circumcision you're having
Well, you
done,
could at
I
least
mean, you know,
see. You could at least see downtown.
Right.
or not.
Be
we're,
glad.
we're back to your penis.
I know,
Okay, that's-
God.
yes.
Oh, maybe
Will
I'll
your
get
penis
some,
be in Sci-Fest?
Maybe I'll get some kind of product placement involving my penis or something.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
John
my
Hamm and
goodness.
myself, you know.
Right.
right.
Kidding.
Right.
Oh, that is so funny. And you can call yourself the Anteater.
There you
know,
go.
okay, yeah.
Wow.
Late night.
So now, are you also stalkable on Twitter and
Stalkable.
Facebook?
Stalkable and on Google Plus.
I
what
love that
is
she
Google
threw in
Plus?
Google Plus.
I love
was
it.
like,
I'm
good.
on
LinkedIn
I'm like all
and-
tangled up here, and I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, and I guess just Facebook.
Okay.
Just
But Facebook.
Facebook.
Well,
Well-
Facebook, I had to create like a separate nut that.
Is that more for your mother? Because moms are on Facebook.
Well, I have a real. I have Nelson Ascencio is my stage name. It's my mother's name actually. I changed it because people couldn't pronounce my real name, which I won't mention because that's on Facebook. But I started a Facebook page for Nelson Ascencio after the Hunger Games because the only people that wanted to be my friends were like 12-year-old girls. Not that that's a bad thing.
No,
That's great.
no.
That's
But
so
it's kind of
cute.
creepy when I'm on Twitter and like I'm going to bed now, and I'm like, it's
Oh,
okay. And
yeah,
it's like so. I get a lot of kids trying to talk to me and reach out to me, ask me for advice, and
And
stuff.
you have
It's
to-
really great.
And you have to
That's
shut
sweet.
those conversations down right away
Oh,
because you
yeah.
never know if you're getting manipulated or something. It's like,
Exactly.
I have got to
like
go to
James
bed right
Franco.
now.
Did
Oh,
you hear that
No,
story?
what happened?
James Franco was apparently having.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. A
With the
conversation
girl, she was
with
under
a
18?
but
Yeah.
she was of legal age in New York. Though.
Right, 17.
Yes.
And what happened? Oh, he was having a
He
conversation.
was trying to get her to go back to his hotel room.
Oh,
But he
that's-
backpedaled and took care of it, and it's
He does
kind
a lot of
like-
naked selfies in his bed. It's a little
with
well,
another man, I think he
with
did.
another man.
He's my
He's
neighbor in
interesting.
Silver Lake. I thought I'd just throw that in.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's
Whatever,
nice. Jeff,
shut
but
up,
anyway,
Ralph.
so yeah,
I want to hear a little bit about Hunger Games experience because that is such a huge movie in our family. The boys read the series, the whole thing.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just kind of.
Did you ever? Where did you film?
We filmed. The first one was in North Carolina, outside of Charlotte.
Okay.
In
And it's supposed to be beautiful there.
in Charlotte.
Yes.
Yeah, not where we were filming. It was
Oh,
pretty much.
okay.
It was just a bunch of malls and no sidewalks.
Okay.
And that was the first one, and the second one was in Atlanta, Georgia, which I loved. I fell
Atlanta's
in love with
great.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I was like, not a bad place
I
to
forgot they
live.
do
No,
film.
it's a
They
great
did film
place.
that there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we shot it there at
Yeah.
the convention center, in and around, different areas. The goat farm, am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so they had all these great locations. So it was really fun, and I actually put on weight while I was in Atlanta
Well,
for 6 weeks.
I mean, the food is amazing.
oh my God.
Everything's
yeah.
fried.
Everything's
so.
fried,
Did you have fried okra?
I think I had that. I had grits. I don't know how
Grits.
many times. I finally got to
Yes.
like it.
Yes.
And fried green tomatoes and things
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
But yeah, that was 6 weeks there. And
Where did you stay? What part of
they
town?
put
were
us
you-
in Midtown.
Midtown,
At
yeah.
the Marriott.
Nice,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, so we were in the same hotel with everyone: Donald Sutherland, Stanley Tucci,
Jennifer
Jeffrey
Lawrence.
Wright. No, she stayed at
Oh.
the no,
The
she was
Ritz.
at the Four Seasons or
Right,
something.
right.
No, actually, I think they put her up in a house.
In a house.
Yeah, I mean, she's there for like 3-6 months or
Yeah.
something like that. But it was a lot of
Stanley
fun.
Tucci, what's he's like?
Oh, he's sweet.
He seems sweet.
So nice.
Yeah.
You know, he just
Beth
walks
has a
by
big
you and
crush
yeah.
on him.
Yeah, he's really
great.
talented.
Jeffrey Wright is like, I've been a big fan. He's such a great actor. So actually, it was the first time I've ever made an excuse to go after someone in an elevator and just kind of, say introduce myself, which I normally don't do that. And Donald Sutherland,
Wow.
really interesting character.
Yes.
Some people are different. You
Right.
gotta respect that.
Yes,
Some people are
yes,
approachable. Some are
yes,
not.
absolutely.
And I'm not throwing anyone under the
Right,
bus or
right,
anything.
right.
Jennifer Lawrence is Jennifer Lawrence. You know, she is everything that people talk about. She is genuinely just a sweet, goofy kid with a great talent
Right.
and smart. When
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz,
Be
beautiful
Still My
man,
Heart. Yes.
just a true rock star.
Yes.
Sweetheart. I mean, he's someone that he met you,
He
just
just
came up to you.
oozes sex.
Yeah,
Sexy.
yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
you're really into that.
Yeah, I am.
He's probably uncircumcised
I'm leaving.
also.
I don't care.
Don't you think?
I don't care.
I remember that was my first conversation.
Right.
Are you on?
Are you cut or uncut?
I'm sorry. That man is beautiful.
Yeah.
No, he
If
is.
he
He's got a
walked- I
teeny
would-
little waist, little bum. Can't believe I'm
Oh,
saying
well,
that.
I don't
but-
know then.
No, he's just like he looks great. He's a great looking guy,
Yes.
and just equally just a sweetheart. Really
Yes.
nice. Who else?
Because that's how the A-listers are.
Yeah, he is. I think the bigger they are, the nicer they are.
Yes.
It's the in between sometimes that
Right.
kind of
Yes.
Or the
nerves.
reality
and you're
star-
like-
Yes,
the reality stars.
stars.
So,
Yeah.
Did you work
yeah.
with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Actually, Philip Seymour Hoffman. My interaction with him was basically sitting in the makeup trailer next to
Okay.
him. He was kind of to himself.
Yeah, I
Right.
can
But
see that.
he just had he had an interesting sort of aura energy about him. I mean, you just kind of looked at him, but he was just, I didn't really talk or
Yeah,
anything.
you
He
didn't
didn't
get
want to
you
be
didn't get the
bothered.
warm and fuzzies.
Well, it was like the last couple of days for me on the set, so
Right.
and I didn't really have a scene with him, so
Right.
it's, you
I
know.
understand.
And like I said, you get a feeling from certain
Yes,
stars whether
yes.
they're approachable or not, or you're
Yes.
told not to approach them.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Right. What about the young kid, the boy that played?
Oh, Josh.
yes.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, he
Awesome
seems like
kid.
a sweetheart.
Well, I say kid because he is a kid
Right.
compared to me, but really, really nice. It's just a really, really great crew. You know.
Yeah, you
nice
had a fun
people.
time?
I had a fun time.
Yes.
It was nice to
How
be on the
much
set.
How much did your mother brag about you being in that movie
She
to all
still
her friends?
does. She doesn't
Yes.
pronounce. Oh, this is funny. I told her I was in the Hunger Games, and to this day she tells me, "This is my son. He's the hungry gay."
Well, that
With her cute- he's the hungry gay. I'm like, Mommy, the Hunger Games.
I
It's
love
like,
it. I
Yes.
love it. He's the hungry gay.
He's the hungry gay.
That could be your new one-man show.
That is the title of my
Hungry
one-man
Gay.
show that I'm writing on. It is.
It should be.
Actually, I had to plug that in, but
Hilarious.
it's
Good.
true. That's a true
too. Is
story.
she still in New York?
She's still in New York, and actually, I hope they don't get in trouble for this. I went to New York, and they had copies of the movie, and I said, "Oh, you got copies of the Hunger Games Catcher?" And she goes, "Yes, we bought it. It's in black and white." I'm like, "Black and white?" And she goes, "We bought it for some man for $5." She's like pirating, like
The
catching fire.
FBI will be knocking on her door.
That's
like,
hilarious.
busting
I
the door
I
down.
think she's small town. They're not going to bother her.
that
That's
is
so
hilarious.
funny.
I
She
think
just
I
sees
think
it for
her
her son. She
her
doesn't know
son
what's
could
going
get her
on.
a copy.
My dad
right?
can relate. He did a lot of that back in the day. We had Jaws before Jaws was, you know.
Oh my god!
Oh yes.
And you'll watch the movie and
And
see
he
someone
played-
get up and walk
Walk-
across.
right.
He played the
popcorn.
music when we were swimming. Oh my goodness.
So
Yes,
you know,
yes.
folks are very proud of their kids, but she has no idea what's happening in the movie. You know, I did a little bit on Boys on the Side, and she was like, "You know, they're showing that movie in Cuba." I'm like, "What movie?" She goes, "Kids on the Street," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it was Boys on the Side.
That's hilarious. That's
So a lot of things
cute.
get lost in
That's so
translation.
cute.
That's so
Well, I want to
funny.
go back. I love the fact that you and Debbie Zane have this relationship back.
That's my maiden name, Zane.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
You're not related.
not related.
No.
No.
But was it great watching her career as well? The way it kind of grew over the years
Yeah,
as a casting
I
director?
mean, like anyone else in the business that you've worked with, whether they're actors, casting directors, writers, whatever, people are paying their dues. And,
Right.
She paid her dues, and she's really successful. She's an incredibly smart woman.
Really
and,
nice lady.
And a really nice
Yeah.
lady. And luckily, I have her on my side. And
Right.
when the right things come up, she's like, hey, Nelson, want to read for this? Nothing's given to you.
No.
But the opportunities are
Right.
there.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, people like that are rare.
Yeah.
I truly believe that.
They
With
are.
Sonny
They are
Chico.
rare.
Is Debbie related to the other Zane from
Billy.
Pillsbury Zane?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
there's
Bonnie's her sister.
Bonnie's
Oh,
her
they're
sister.
sisters.
Yeah,
okay.
another really, really sweet
Really
lady.
great
Yeah,
office,
Bonnie's
She
yeah.
does a lot of TV and sitcoms.
Bonnie, I know. I haven't met
Yeah.
Deborah. Yeah.
Yeah, really great sisters and nice family.
Nice.
They're from Miami and I'm from New York, so we work together in New York, and that's how long we've known each other.
Oh, that's
Few
great.
people that you know that long,
Well, that's
that
why.
you still
yeah,
like
that's
20,
why
30
yeah,
years
Well, that's
later.
great. Well, Jasper's had long-term relationships with his agent, and so he's
Nice.
I'm
he's
very
one
loyal.
he's one for longevity like that, so he can
That's
totally
good.
relate to that. Yeah, that's why he wanted, I'm sure, to bring it back to that. Because
Well, I always like the journey, people's journey in this business, and I love how the fact
That's
that
the fun
somebody
part.
starts out together.
You
Yeah.
don't think it is back then.
Because a lot of
but
times it
is.
doesn't go that way. You start out together and then people aren't speaking
Yeah.
in 10 years or whatever. So
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you don't forget. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you want to forgive, but you don't forget.
Right.
Right.
It's
You
a
know?
case by case, just like you were saying, your friends on SNL, not necessarily a phone call from them, but a phone call
No.
from Deborah Zane. So great.
Yeah, so
sometimes
it kind of works out.
and
Some people are in their own way and they don't want to kind of share it. I truly believe there's enough for all of us.
yes,
So
exactly.
I have no choice but to believe that because I'm not
Exactly.
getting any younger and I need to work.
Right, exactly. No.
So attitude
Well,
that I
do
like
we
to-
have Nelson? Do you mind? Do you want to stay for our final call in as well?
Sure. How long is that?
Yeah, we
20
just have
minutes.
20
15
minutes.
more minutes.
Are we hungry?
It's up to
So
you.
can-
Whatever.
It's totally up to you.
Who is it?
This is a young filmmaker, Cassidy McMillan. And
Is she on the phone?
Cool.
She has a new documentary. She's got a documentary about bullying.
Oh,
And-
I'd love to hear it.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah, because you were bullied.
I'll eat a cookie and I'll stick
Okay,
around.
great.
right.
You want a cookie?
Because then we'll take a picture afterward, and then you can tweet it and everything.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Promote you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all
of
about
us.
you. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's-
It's
yeah,
really
exactly.
a 5-minute
no.
picture.
We're
We'll
really-
probably put like a filter on.
Ralph
mine.
is really
Face.
the sun, and we're just the planet.
Planet.
Is it your show?
Yeah, it's, our last names just
See
are
there?
coincidentally the same, but I use it to my favor when I need to.
So it is just a coincidence. I wasn't sure if you guys
Just-
were married or something.
No,
or
no,
you were
it's
God,
siblings.
help me.
okay. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
brothers from
Separated
another.
at birth. Yeah.
They're
Probably-
brothers
did you
from
just
another mother.
Throw up some of your
A little bit in
vomit?
my mouth. Yeah,
okay.
I did.
No, but yeah, it's just a funny coincidence.
Okay, so is Cassidy on the line? Hi, Cassidy. It's Jasper.
Yes, I am.
Hi, sweetheart. Welcome to
Hi,
the show.
Jasper.
Well, first of all,
Glad
we
to be here.
we have to tell everyone Cassidy was going to be here live in the studio, but unfortunately, as we've all had car problems, I'm so sorry.
Oh, what a pain.
Are you
Yes,
still there?
It all started
Yes.
with just trying. Yes, it all started with trying to get an oil change on Friday, and then there.
Well, that's a whole other
it
video.
turned into, you need a new. Yeah, you need a new timing belt, and
Nelson.
from there it was doomed.
What a direct. But we're so glad that you got out of it safely and that you were able to call in, Cassidy.
Yes. So,
Well, I'm just glad to be here.
well, listen. Say hi. We have Nelson, and we have Ralph, and Dara, and JW, and Zach, and Rick, and Murray, and it's just a house full of people here. Yes.
It's a house full
Yes,
of men,
hello.
Cassidy. I
I've
could
been
have. I
watching
could have
stuff.
had you here.
Yeah, but I'm sorry we've run out of time. Bye bye.
No, he's kidding. Just ignore Jasper.
I'm kidding.
No, he was joking. And it was nice of you to send me that email today. You have an exhaustive list of credits and work. So why don't you use this and launch into what you'd like Planet Eartha to know about you?
Well, I am primarily an actress, but also a filmmaker, and my current project is a documentary film called Bullies and Friends, and it's on bullying and teen suicide prevention, suicides caused by bullying. And the story focuses on a 14-year-old girl who, after being bullied by 3 girls at her school, hung herself in her bedroom with her dog's leash. And in her suicide note, she named the 3 girls. The incident sparked an investigation that became the precedent-setting court case in North America, where for the first time teens were made to stand trial for bullying. So those 3 girls had to stand trial for their actions. And I made the film in order to hopefully prevent another boy or girl from taking their life due to bullying. And so far we've been blessed that the film's been met with tremendous positive response from schools where we did preview screenings due to schools asking for the film while we were still filming or in post-production. And so we did special screenings with segments of the film or extended versions. And so, yeah, students are really just being impacted by it. And it led to the United Nations Association giving the film the Impact Film Award, which then led to distributors inquiring about the film. And so we have a distributor who's on board. They want to release this film worldwide, both on television and DVD and all of that. And so now, though, we are fundraising for the final funds to cover all of those costs for pre-distribution. As you guys know, the distribution companies don't cover those costs, so they are somewhat large, six-figure amount. So we are now fundraising on Indiegogo.com to involve the global community and all bullying prevention advocates, everyone who's been affected by bullying, and suicide prevention advocates, to get them on board. And, we have great movie rewards. And, yeah, everybody can get involved at every level. And so this way we can get those final funds, get it out there.
Oh, so the listeners can go to Indiegogo.com and put in Bullies and Friends and find the fundraising so they can donate. Is that how they find it?
Right? Yeah, it's under the film category, as well as they can go to our film's website, bulliesandfriends.com.
Got it.
And we have the links and icons that'll get them there too.
Okay, perfect.
And Bullies and Friends, it's not the word and.
No, it's bulliesandfriends.com.
Right.
It's A&D.
Right, yes.
Oh, I thought it was
right,
and.
for the website.
Oh, for the website. Never mind.
For the website. It's just that, right. And
I
you're
see.
right too, Sarah. Yeah, on Twitter. Right, the letter limit. Yeah,
okay.
So we had to put
it
right.
on
Twitter.
Well, this is a great cause. Did you experience bullying yourself as a kid? Is that something that's been a part of your life, or how did you? Did you just read about the case and it touched your heart, or how did this happen for you?
Yeah, I saw it in school, going on, and I was actually more of the person to intervene. In elementary school, picked on here or there, but in high school I saw it more going on to friends of mine, and I stepped in and was always sort of the one to do that. And I heard of this story when I happened to catch an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show, and Oprah had the mom of this 14-year-old girl on for the entire hour, and I just was just blown away by the fact that this bright, intelligent, articulate 14-year-old girl, she was in drama, loved animals and all of that, and had her whole life ahead of her, but due to being bullied and they threatened to kill her and all of that she felt her only way out was to take her own life.
It's very sad. Yeah, it's a real epidemic in our society right now. I guess, it's interesting. We always had bullying when we were growing up, but it seems like in the last 10 years it's really
I don't know
exploded.
what's changed. I don't know if there's more avenues to bully because of social media.
I think social media
or we
is a
just
big part
know
of it.
more about stuff actually going on because there's so much media. I don't know which.
But I'm sure
which
social media. Do you think, Cassidy, also? Because
right.
You're much younger than we are.
I definitely do. I mean, I've traveled to schools throughout Canada and the United States, and in meeting with the students, and plus I provide them questionnaires, the teachers hand them out, and we get them back, and both on the film and their thoughts and insights on bullying and what they've experienced. And really, due to social media, it has increased so much.
Right.
I mean, think about it. In the past, it used to be if someone, I guess, wanted to bully you while you were at home, they either had to knock on your front door and deal with your parents, or call on the phone and deal with your parents. But with cell phones and then the internet, it's relentless now. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they can get to their target. And so kids have no escape.
Right.
It's like they're in school getting harassed, they're at home getting harassed, or they'll hear, oh, someone posted this about you online, and so it's really having an impact, so much so that now the Centers for Disease Control has stated that bullying among school-age children is a major public health problem, and that now suicide is the third leading cause of death among children
Wow.
ages 10 and up.
It's horrifying.
Cassidy, the 14-year-old girl that you focused on for your film, what was the source of her bullying from the three girls?
It was a series of incidents that went on for months where they threatened to kill her, where they physically pushed her around at school or after school. They said that after they killed her, that they would then go after her brother and her best friend. And one of the girls was the daughter of a prominent police officer in town.
Oh.
So she was like, I can do whatever I want, and nothing's
Oh my
going to
God.
happen anyway,
Wow.
because my dad's a cop, and so
Wow.
you're going to be dead, and I'm going to be the one to do it. So she literally thought they were going to kill her the next week. So on a Friday night, she went home and killed herself. And when her younger brother, who was a year younger than her, went into her bedroom to find her for dinner, because she didn't come out when her mom called for dinner, and the room was dark, because by then it was like 7 at night, and he turned on the light to discover that.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Did the bully, the girl, the policemen's, do they know, did they know prior to this that she was a bully? I mean, were they in denial? Are they bullies? Is the family just, this is a bullying family? Do you know is there anything you can talk about that?
Right. Great question. The family was respected in town, and according to everyone's beliefs, they thought the dad was an upstanding police officer, and they had no reason to suspect this was going on. The daughter had told her mom that this girl was bothering her and at her locker, and the mom addressed it, and the girl had spoken to a school counselor about it several times, and the school did not intervene.
Mm-hmm.
And which I suspect is why they would not talk to me when I was there and wanted to meet with the principal and all of that, because of course they were fearing a civil lawsuit. And the school principal told me that they would rather focus on the school's athletic achievements.
Wow.
Fortunate.
Wow.
And so
Well-
this was all in her freshman year of high school, her first year of high school, that this was taking place. Because you said she was
Correct.
14, so it sounds like it was, unless
Right.
okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it was her freshman year, yeah.
And then what about the three?
I mean, both
The three girls, did they get any punishment?
through the course of time, it ended up being two separate court trials because one girl skipped town and there's a bench warrant issued for her arrest. But the school did go ahead and expelled all three, which, when I travel to schools, I try and also talk with them, and they ask me for consultations and all of that. It's sometimes the school is just reacting like this matter of fact. Sometimes it's not the right thing to just expel a student out of hand. I mean,
Right.
two of the girls really were more, I guess you could say, sociopathic about it. But there was the one girl who did try to intervene, and she didn't intend for anything bad to happen. She was just being lied to herself by the other two bullies, and
I see.
Wow.
she ends up getting expelled, and she was acquitted by the court, but yet to this day has never been able to finish high school.
Wow.
Well, listen, Cassidy, we have to, unfortunately, the time, I don't know where the show has gone by, but like you and I talked about, we'd love to have you come in next time live in the studio. And thank you again so much.
Absolutely.
And let everybody know where they can find you again, in case they need to
To
hear
donate.
it again, to donate and to be part of the film to get it exposure.
Right. They just go to bulliesandfriends.com.
Okay.
And from there, they'll be directed to everywhere else. Also, my website, CassidyMcMillan.com. So either of those sites will get you to our Indiegogo campaign.
Okay.
Excellent.
Cassidy, thank you so much. And again, I'm sorry the time's running. And good luck with your car. And we look forward to meeting you live in the studio.
Thank you for bringing the subject to the forefront so the planet is aware of it.
Thank you, Cassidy.
Thanks so much. Have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Ralph.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Wow. Good luck with that. That's
Hi.
Planet Eartha, we had a jam-packed show today, and we're closing out. We'll be back next month, Sunday, June 1st, with another fabulous June is Busting Out
Is
All
it June
show.
1st?
And
Yes.
make sure everyone check out SciFest
Yes.
2014.
Starring
Yes.
Nelson Ascencio in Alien in the Family. He begins his run on May 13th. Check it out at www.sci-fest.com. Do it.
And Simply Eartha.
And yes, Kitt Shapiro, thank you so much for an amazing interview with you. You and everyone check out her website and buy everything.
Exactly.
Just keep buying.
Zach, thank you for
Exactly.
these great guests today.
Zach,
That was
so
fierce.
great to see you.
Murray Zane, thank you for coming in and listening to us. Rick, thank you for being supportive.
JW.
you happen to be really fierce. I think I look
Totally
really good. Dara, you're fabulous. Jasper, loving you.
Yeah, everyone,
Bye-bye.
thank you so much for listening. We'll be
Thank
back
you.
on Sunday, June 1st. And you've been listening to On the Set with Jasper Cole. Make it a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't miss a minute of On the Set with Jasper Cole and get the inside scoop on everything going on behind the scenes in Hollywood.